Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
And so the Bears are sending their compensatory fourth-round pick to Jacksonville for Nick Foles.
With no competition.
Keeping it 100. Like the people drop off, but we still keep rocking.
I know we need to run the ball more. I'm not an idiot.
Keeping it 100, man. Keeping it 100. Keeping it 100, baby.
Open competition.
Keeping it 100.
Smartest man.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Chicago Bears select Cole Kmet.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man at Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shayne's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shayne got some haters. But now the mouth's stuck like the true and now and laters. Debaters, claws get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sack strolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shayne. 100's what we do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the up there. The tape never lies, the truth you see, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a stat nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like Max Sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man and Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we're keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby. Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Like your boy Gosling. Well, now you can do get your acting out.
This is Dear Island with the Chicago Bears, and you're keeping 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network.
The following show is for mature audiences only. Shy City Sports.
Holy shit, that Yale education. Yale education.
Come on, man. Yeah, that wasn't anything for him.
Yale education fucking paid off. I don't know what you're.
Jumps right down the road from my house, literally.
Hey, you see Angelo Joe Marino?
This right here is impressive. 11.3.
Yeah, Phil shared that with me today, and I'm like, oh Jesus, that just talks about explosiveness right there. I mean, that's something, you know. Some of these numbers can get not overrated on your part, but I'm just saying they can get overrated in the grand scheme of things.
Shayne, the brain Marsaw.
That's something that scouts everywhere are looking at. They're looking at that broad jump number because that tells so much about what you do on the football field. And I mean, with your size already, man, somebody that's that explosive, that is very, very impressive.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You pop the tape on, it shows you this. You know what you're fucking doing.
Don't be humble here.
Yeah.
I know you're in a slippery spot in Nashville, Tennessee. They got a half inch of snow, or an inch of snow, or an inch and a half.
2 inches.
2 inches. Yeah.
That's about Angelo coming in.
Phil, listen, I'm working hard.
But the reality is those numbers obviously go beyond the tape.
Gardner Minshew? No.
Where you shine. Here's a physical football player. But the thing about you that stands out is your ability to anticipate the football. So you're not just that Deion Buchanan that would be comped to you, who played for the Cardinals and came down and played, same former Alabama kid, Shayne. What was his name? He ended up going to the Rams.
Barron.
Lowers his shoulder and gets rocked by
Barron, yeah, Mark Barron. Those are the comps that you're going to get, but your times are freakish as far as an athlete.
Peters throws. Intercepted. Tyler Cole on the pick. The sprint to the end zone. Touchdown, Utah. A pick six for Tyler Cole.
Would you rather hit someone so hard that they go to the Ben Askren realm? I don't know what that means. Or get an interception.
You answered that too, Claude.
I answered that one too.
These are coming from the chat. I don't know what.
Smoke weed every day.
They're coming from the chat. Nobody's coming up with some good questions.
Claude's going to ask you if you're Team Xbox or Team PlayStation.
Which way did it go, George? Which way did it go?
All right, you Team Phil or Team Shayne?
What's that shirt you got on?
You got some swag, huh?
Yes, it's a beautiful shirt. Phil gave it to me, and I'm so happy.
Listen. You wait. You called me out about basketball. Listen, I can't dunk, but I will take you one-on-one, bro.
Oh no, you won't.
Oh, this is a challenge.
Claude,
Right here.
Wait, are you
You'll lose that battle.
This guy's 6 foot.
You'll lose that battle.
5'5".
You'll lose that battle.
I have a challenge for you.
That
Well, I
battle.
might. I'll
Claudio's
put up
got-
with this.
I'll take you up on
Claudio
that.
likes that set shot.
Let's go, game time.
It starts in South Africa. You've told this story before, but we got all these new listeners all over the world, including your home country.
The country, not the state.
How did you get into football from South Africa? You were a great rugby player, right?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up playing rugby like everyone does back home, and dreamt of becoming a Springbok rugby player like everyone does back home. And I don't know, coincidentally, me and my friend started watching a game just out of the blue when I was 16 years old. And that was the first time that I'd ever watched it. And I was just really intrigued by the sport. It was a college football game that we were watching, and me and him kind of just kept up this unorthodox hobby of watching American football games. Of course, no one watches it back home at all.
American football is taking baby steps in a country crazy for soccer, rugby, and cricket.
And I just kind of fell in love with it. So when I was close to graduating high school back home, I decided that I wanted to pursue football. And I came over and tried it out at a camp, and I'd never played football before. I had no idea what I was doing. But I got offered a few walk-on opportunities at a couple schools, and I knew that if I could do that without really knowing what the hell I was doing, I could do even a lot better if I knew what I was doing. So I ended up going to Choate, as you said in the introduction, and from there on got recruited to Yale. And without their support, I wouldn't be where I am today. So,
Dieter, when you're at Yale, and I don't think people understand the transition from going from South Africa rugby to Choate Rosemary Hall. You see the pictures of Dieter. He looks like a giant amongst boys, and then gets to go to the Yale, which is Ivy League football. There is no football without Ivy League football.
yeah, football changed my life in lots of ways, and definitely for the better. I'm very grateful towards the sport of football.
Team Dieter. Here's Team Dieter. Team Dieter, you are great.
Cut it out, ladies and gentlemen.
As an NFL, professional football player, do you think you're a completely different person, completely different football player with what you've been through the past 10 months?
I would say that I'm completely different. At Yale, I exclusively played left guard for all 4 years, and that's what I did. And I really enjoyed that position. But once I got to Chicago and I got introduced to Coach Castillo, it was really great because we got to work as soon as April turnaround. So, I mean, even with this very unconventional year that we had last year with COVID, we were still able to get work done over Zoom and still send in videos of us doing our technique work. And I'd say that my understanding of football technique, just fundamentally as an offensive lineman, and also just my understanding of football schemes that relates to offensive and defensive schemes, has just exponentially increased. There are a lot of things that I did know, but I would say now my knowledge is just light years ahead of where it was.
I'm going to give them an offer they can't refuse.
It's part of football. You get your guys going, you get your guys motivated, and they're like, look at Dieter over here. He's fucking killing people. And that's keep that mentality, man, because that's
he
serve you well. Absolutely. Love it.
The tape doesn't lie with Dieter.
No.
He's being very humble here. He's almost not ready for modern pizza yet. He hasn't hit the table. Very, very humble. I honestly, not because he's here. You've heard me say this before. Like, I'm so excited about this journey and the fact that you're moving to center.
Yeah.
Because I know
much more comfortable now in all 3 interior positions than I was before. And I started playing center a lot during the latter half of the season during practice, and I really enjoyed that a lot. I enjoy the intellectual part of football, being able to look at different fronts and being able to identify different disguise, blitzes, and pressures and all that kind of thing, and just getting everybody on the same page. I really enjoy that part of football just because I've never done it. I never played center at Yale. It was big for the Ivy League and it's more match at guard. But now I'm 6'4", 320, and I can play all 3 interior positions.
Who in lineman camp? Is that invite only, or can anybody go there?
I don't know. You'll just have to ask him.
Not you, Club.
No, I know. I'm just asking for a friend.
Smoke weed every day.
Yo, this is Claudio the Barber, and this is Shy City Sports, Keepin It 100. We got another great show for you tonight. We got the former Bears middle linebacker Dante Jones coming on. We got to talk about some QB rumors. We got 2 pressers we got to talk about. But let's bring in the 2 guys that do know how to collaborate. Shayne, the smartest man, Marsaw, and Draft Dr. Phil. What is up? Listen,
what up?
When are we getting this basketball one-on-one going?
Yeah.
I know what I was talking about.
Anytime you want. Bring your wife and kids so I can embarrass you in front of your whole family.
Bro.
I'll kill you there, too. I got the big boy system, Mike. We're Team Xbox over here in this house.
Yeah, I'm digging the hat, Claudio. I'm gonna have to cop me a hat, as they would say.
Listen, I got the hat, I got a hoodie, a t-shirt, man. I love the script. This old college.
Somebody knew what they were doing when they designed that hat. I don't know.
I don't know who that was.
Yeah, the hat is fire. You're getting a lot of props for the hat.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dieter. That's where I used to have an Oswego rugby hat in that style.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I had the Iowa Hawkeyes hat.
Yeah, I love it.
I used to love that hat. And we had a huge bar fight in my old days, Phil, when I was, young and relevant.
Yeah,
Didn't end
we
very
have
well
to
for
film
me. Yeah.
this one-on-one basketball when it gets summer.
Oh
It's
yeah,
gonna have to go down.
Yeah, we could do that.
it'll be like Packers versus Bears. Claude will be the Bears.
The only time you're giving up the Bears is to Claudio.
No, I'm saying that's the score.
Oh,
It'll
okay.
be like,
That's all right. Listen,
Oh boy,
it'll be fun.
I think that will be a blast. Yeah,
It will be.
we'll do it.
Just be a blast just to get together at all. I mean, it's just we need to. I was just
my
telling
God.
the pre-show about Shayne. I'm like, how awesome is it going to be when we can get some of our fans? We could tailgate at a game, and even if we don't go into the game, we just tailgate outside. You know, it'd be
Yeah.
great. You know,
well, I'm gonna make sure I get in the game, but I'll leave
Only
you
free
out
tickets.
there.
$1,000 a month buy-in.
I don't know how anybody, real quick, drinks so much before a game. Like I can't do that.
Before? No.
Yeah,
No,
before.
Yeah.
Right?
I throw
can't
in
do that.
I throw in a piece of gum and
Maybe a
we
shot.
go.
yeah.
Yeah, no. I could
I know
never.
Claudio will smoke a blunt
If you bring
before
some,
the game.
Oh,
But that's why I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna get one of those hats. The chat room is hopping tonight. You guys got a lot of stuff to get into tonight. Obviously, Dante Jones, the former Chicago Bear inside linebacker on the Tape Never Lies network. We've had a lot of news today. God, we've been breaking news and sharing it. I can't thank every person that shares. Like what my niece, she's a hairstylist. I always share her, her post about openings or whatever. Claudio's a barber. If he did that, I'd share that. What is it to share? Something you like. It shouldn't be that much.
Word of mouth. That word of mouth.
Word of mouth is more
Share it,
important to me. Yeah. I could do all the promos in the world, but your word of mouth is amazing and it's important. So all of you that are sharing and helping out, be a friend, tell a friend. Great job, Chris Jackal. He was supposed to be here tonight. Let's kick off the show. Jackal's wife, I'm glad I was reading a little bit. Jackal's wife is pregnant. There was some issues. He had to go to the doctor. So prayers up to you, Chris, and your wife, making sure everything's a go. The 100 crew, you guys are family. I don't just blow smoke on that. So, we got to do what we have to do in this crazy world and send positivity out. That being said, we had the big announcement today. Cool Kennedy, our guy, the brand music director here at the Tape Never Lies Network. Just an amazing dude. We're going to have a lot of music stuff as we go into the offseason. Original content opening up for patrons only at first, and then we'll break it off into downloadable music and original music, all of the 100. You Keepin It 100 song, Bear Up, Bear Down.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
I don't know if we could do that. We have to remix.
We'll have him do a remix.
We have to do a remix to the Smoke Weed Every Day on TTNL, Keeping It 100. The Claudio, Cut It Out, Smoke Weed Every Day. We're in the works with Gary Williams. I don't know if he's in the chat, but we hope there's hope song. We hope
He's got one of these going, I bet.
I'm sure he's got a cigar.
yeah.
So yeah, this network, like I said, we had Loki Riviero. We're going to have some more Bears hosts of podcasts. I have people like Alex Acevedo, Chris Sandlin, Ryan Cox, Shayne, the smartest man, scouting these other Bears podcasts that have professionalism, that are not fucking mouth breathers, as Shayne would say, meatball, that kind of stuff that really
Bears. Those are the guys we're talking about. Don't do that. Be better. Let's move past that.
Be better than worrying about 85.
Yeah.
We're not
85.
We're not struggling for 85. We're going to have someone from the 80s and 90s on tonight.
That's right.
So we're always trying to bring Chicago Bears. And like I said in my post today, George Berlissimo, obviously a part of the network now on the Draft Mob show every Sunday for patrons, breaking down the draft like nobody else. I mean, if you're not seeing this show,
that content alone is worth $7 a month. Come on,
dude. If you're not seeing this show, last week's show, I would say was one of the best shows. And I was a part of it, and I watched it back, and I was like, that was a real. If you love the draft, that was just a tip.
Yeah,
that was just a tip. So, yeah, www.thetapeneverlies.com. Become a patron. I'm sure you're gonna love it. We got so many ideas and plans for shows going forward, and analysis and guests. Today, I was announcing just from my heart, my truth about this network, speaking to Shayne as we left the old network, what I wanted, what my vision was. And Shayne was step for step. In fact, Shayne was the one who said, it needs to be the Tape Never Lies network, bro. Oh, people know that shit from what you've done. That's your shit. Oh, assholes could try to steal that shit. Oh, assholes could try to delete it. Oh, but it's you, and that's me. I'm your boy. So that's how the name of the brand became, and then Keeping It 100, because I say it all the time. I'm glad we went with Keeping It 100 instead of Real Quick, because the show would be it wouldn't
Keeping It 1000. You don't want to do
Yeah. 1000. That's Angelo's show.
Yeah. It's gonna be a beautiful show. Keeping it $9.99, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys, I can't thank you guys enough, though, in the chat. Adam Rank, I was on his show today. Go over there, subscribe to Adam Rank's podcast on YouTube. Just a class guy. Loves Shayne, Claudio, Carr. He loves everything we do here after the show. He was just so complimentary. But again, that's what we're trying to do here. I want to sell people on another person's show. I'm about that. I just don't like the stealing, right? I don't like when people take what we say. So shout out to John Centino, who called that shit out on
right here. FCF has segments
what did he say?
Called Tape. FCF has segments that called Tape Don't Lie.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna worry about that shit. We're doing what we're doing here. I think everybody knows who we are, including the freaking haters, the steroid haters. Even they know who we are. Pretend like they don't know. But yeah, Adam Rank, go follow his YouTube page. Great guy. Thanks again for having me on there. Again, TTNL, Cool Kennedy, Berlissimo, and just giving you the truths now this week. So we're going to have a great show tonight. Our guest coming up, Dante Jones.
Yeah, I think he was on the roster that I had to memorize when I was a kid, right, Phil?
Yes.
I think we talked about that before.
What number
I
was
became
he?
a Bears.
You remember what number he
58.
was? No, that was Jay. Who? Number 58.
You're killing me here, man.
Out of Colorado, Shayne. Jay who?
Shayne will know.
I know who it is.
Yeah,
I thought you
go
were
ahead.
the
I
one.
don't know.
I thought you were the one that memorized the roster.
Yeah, when I was like 12.
All right. Do you remember what number Warwick Holdman was?
Warwick Holdman. No, but you know what? 53. That's why I said 58.
There you go.
53 was Dante Jones.
There
I knew it was
go.
all right.
53. Dante Jones.
Yes.
Number 53. He actually, the baton pass. We're going to get into that. Replacing Mike Singletary, the whole nine. I'm sure Claudio got help from the chat there. That's how he figured
No, I said it before they put that up.
So, yeah.
Let me shout out
presser
Baz real quick.
We're going to get to the presser today. Oh, my God. So much. And yes, folks, I am not breaking news. I'm just sharing what I know. There's a huge blockbuster trades on the table that Pace and Nagy are involved with. How they go down, whether it's Watson or Wilson, we're going to find out. And we're going to go live when it happens. But I'm telling you right now, I am 100% sure that they're huge trades are being offered right now in the Chicago Bears end, and they're desperate. And we've talked about this, Shayne. How long? It was like you predicted this shit or something. I don't know. It's like,
who knew? Who knew?
Yeah. Jay Lewinberg was number 58 out of Colorado. Hilgenberg was 63. 63. He's got it right. Lewinberg. Jay Lewinberg.
Comment of the night so far right here.
I hate Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
There we go.
So as we prepare, you saw the open. Dieter Eisland moving the center. I wanted to give you some video of it in him and Tyler. Obviously, last week there was so much going on. So I wanted to attach some video for you fans to see in the open. The conversation, number one, Dieter Eisland, obviously from Yale, his story, 6 years organized football. Now he's here. I'm excited about the guy. If you watch that tape, you just see how he manhandles people. So as he matures, this guy's only going to get better. And you heard as Shayne question him there, how much more confident do you feel like you are? And in light years, that bodes well for the interior of the Chicago Bears offensive line, especially with James Daniels returning, Cody White here at left guard. James will go to right guard. And then Dieter and Sam Mustipher. And then if you're signing or drafting a center to get involved in the competition, you got to always get that offensive line built up. You know, that's the most important thing. So you look at those two guys, they come on the show, they share their truths, and they really break it down. It gives you some sort of sense that Juan Castillo and an offseason with these players, especially a young player, there's something special that we can hope happens. We cross our fingers, right, Gary? Is Gary there yet? We hope there's hope. But one thing I don't have to hope for, Claudio, is our next guest.
He's here, ready.
This is the star of the show tonight because let me say this before. I always do this. We only introduce 100 crew. You know this. We only introduce our guests in a special way that they deserve. This guy, though, busted his ass playing this game of football. And as a young Bears fan, keeping it 100, and a football player in college at the time, waiting for this bottom line ticker to see if the Bears are winning, I would scream this fucking guy's name at the top of my lungs at Hofstra down the hallway, Dante Jones. Dante Jones. So let's introduce the former middle linebacker in the TTNL way, Mr. Dante Jones.
TTNL fans, this former Skyline Raider took his talents to Norman, Oklahoma, where he became a household name. Your 1987 Big 8 Defensive Player of the Year and consensus All-American, was a one-man wrecking crew in the 1987 Orange Bowl versus Arkansas, where he brought home MVP honors. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a proper TTNL welcome to the 51st overall pick in the 1988 NFL Draft by your Chicago Bears. He's Dante Jones.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Dante Jones.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
How are you?
Doing good.
We're looking at those big shoulder pads and those old clips, man. Looks a little bit different today, doesn't it?
Well, you had to wear big shoulder pads back then because now, nowadays they're not hit as much, but we hit all the time, and my shoulder's still bad from that.
Yeah. Well, how long did it take you to get those pads on? I remember having those pads in high school too, with the straps here, the tie here. Did you also wear them?
The problem was those tight jerseys. The jerseys had to be tight so nobody could grab and hold you. So the jerseys on was the worst part of those shoulder pads.
Oh my God!
Did you was T-Med around back then? Tony Medlin, he was still there, right? Was he on a step stool getting those big things up on your shoulders?
I didn't know that Tony Medlin got there the year before I got there. Now, I thought he had been there forever. But I read somewhere that he had just got there the year before I got there.
Yeah.
So we were both kind of. I guess he was a second year guy, and I was a rookie. But he had to reach up to help us.
Listen, there's no smoke on this show or bullshit. We keep it 100. That's the name of the show. You were one of the best linebackers I saw. And let's go back to Oklahoma. Here you are at Oklahoma, and you're playing next to a guy that's hyped up on Sports Illustrated. He's got a haircut. What was that like for you? Because honestly, talking to my uncle, Sam Ratigliano, I swear this story, my father can attest to this. Okay. We're at Walter Camp in New Haven. It's for the best All-Americans, whatever. They have this big dinner. My father had spoke to Sam Ratigliano about Boz. And this was his quote. Well, Boz is good. The other guy next to him is better. That was the quote from Sam Ratigliano. Obviously, you could talk about it. How was that? Was that hard for you? I'm keeping it 100 from you.
No, it wasn't. The thing with that was, we had a lot of good players. And Brian got a chance to play full-time at the strong side, and me and Paul Milazzo alternated. So we kind of took each other's shine away. So Brian was able to go out there and get his shine. And, when you got a whole bunch of good players on a good defense, you can pretty much say what you want to, and we're going to back you up. And we're going to make whatever you say stand. So we kind of made Brian look even better than he was. But he's a great player. We made him really good.
Yeah, you did. And you were really good. As you heard in the intro for you, I have some other clips for you for the fans when you became a Bear, the HD now compared to then, it's crazy. It looks
a
lot different, the game.
Yeah.
But just to piggyback one more, Shayne, what was it like to play at Oklahoma? You're a Texas kid. Did Texas recruit you? Because they were like the Dallas Cowboys of college football. How did you get to Oklahoma?
My father kind of pushed me toward Oklahoma because of, I was born in 65, and University of Texas didn't get their first black player to 1970. So my father pushed me toward OU because of that reason. And OU had their first black player in 55 or 56. So, it was kind of back in the day, a lot of black players went to OU because Texas didn't recruit them, or Texas had just got, black players. So we kind of gravitated toward Oklahoma, and that was the main reason. Plus Barry Switzer, he came to my school, and they recruited another guy, Terry Crouch, maybe 5 years before me. And the head coach said Barry didn't need to come to come to Skyline to recruit Terry Crouch, who was an All-American at Oklahoma also. So that was the main reason. Once Barry came to the house, my parents both loved him, and it was over with. I was going to Oklahoma.
Dante, I always like to talk to people about their draft process. I mean, the draft is an event nowadays. I mean, without COVID, it's red carpet treatment and all that. But going back to the '88 draft, did you have a lot of contact with Chicago pre-draft, or did that a lot of times it just comes out of the blue and you have no idea? Go back to your draft day and tell us about that.
I had no contact with Chicago because they figured I would be drafted a whole lot higher.
Yeah,
I talked to Coach Ditka draft day. He said they didn't think I was going to be there, so I never talked to Chicago. I never got a chance to run during the combine. After comeback, I had a bad hamstring, so a lot of teams fell off on me. So, I was disappointed, but getting drafted by Chicago was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
I got a chance to play behind a legend like Mike Singletary and learn a lot and probably prolong my career. Because I didn't get a chance to play until, almost 6 years. because Mike never got hurt. So the draft process for me wasn't like what I wanted it to be, but ended up being a good process because I ended up going to Chicago.
Let me go back to what you said because it struck a nerve with me. Your father pushes you to Oklahoma because Texas was basically segregated and racist. My sons and I said this on my Facebook page, and I keep it 100. I'm a big believer in educating ignorance. I forgive ignorance. I have no tolerance for racists. I don't. So this show, everybody knows I'm going to speak my truth. My sons are watching Ernie Davis, and it's talking about him playing Texas for the national championship. And these people are throwing bottles at him because they're black. They wouldn't allow him to. So this is for the national championship now. So the place has to be shut down. Everybody, and this is 1963. 1963. So it's real and it's unfortunate. And here's a story where it affected you going and playing in your home state, probably. And it's unfortunate. And did you ever? Because my son, obviously, my wife is Italian and Jewish. So my sons are technically Jewish, and I'm Sicilian and my mom's Swedish. So we're mutts. So my sons could experience that anti-Semitism. I have no tolerance for that. I got no tolerance for any ignorance. So for you, did you experience any kind of racial bias other than what your dad did?
No, I didn't. I never experienced anything in Texas. First time I was experiencing was in Chicago.
Really?
Yeah, and my rookie year. That was the first time I ever experienced anything like that. But growing up in Texas, I lived in a black neighborhood all my life, and I busted across town to go to a white school, and I never experienced anything over there either. But when I got to Chicago, it was the first year that I ever experienced anything racial in my entire life.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Really is.
Think,
especially for you. I mean, that's keeping it 100. That's what I wanted to know. I mean, your story is amazing, even as we get into it.
The reason I went to Oklahoma, like I said, because, I was born in 65.
Yep.
If I had been playing football, let's say in 65, I couldn't have went to University of Texas. Even 1969, the first black player, 1970, I was almost 6 years old. Yeah. So
that's crazy to me. When you look at it like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was alive. It wasn't like I wasn't born yet. I was already alive. And almost 6 years old by the time they got their first black player. So that was big.
Dante, coming into the Bears in 1988, I mean, that's you guys went like 12-4, I think, in 88, right? And made it to the conference championship game. How was that whole game. Totally disappointing game, but that whole season, I mean, as a rookie, you're in Chicago, everything's defense. You're a middle linebacker, you're just a linebacker in general for the Bears.
Yeah.
What was your rookie year like? I mean, were you looking down at your ring finger? I mean, like I'm getting a ring soon, man.
You know what? I started a game at outside linebacker versus Dallas.
Yeah.
Had like 9 tackles and a sack, but then I got hurt. And so then they started putting more guys in, and I didn't get a chance to get back in there, as far as starting outside. But, because we beat San Francisco that year in Chicago 10-9. So we're going to the Super Bowl, y'all. We're going to beat San Francisco again. We're going to beat them again. It's cold weather. They can't play in cold weather. And they came down and crushed us. I was like, man, we couldn't believe it.
I remember that game.
Yeah, we couldn't believe it. We thought we was going to the Super Bowl. But, there's other plans. But it was disappointing. But, it was a great season. We played well most of the time except for that last game. And I don't know why we didn't play well. But it was a great experience, because I played national championship the year before at Oklahoma. And then we got to Chicago, and I thought got a chance to go to Super Bowl, but we didn't make it. But that was our best opportunity right there.
Now, let me ask you this and piggyback off that. Here you talk about going outside linebacker. You come in here MVP, most valuable player in the Big Eight. You obviously your tape, you're explosive tackler. I mean, a thudder. You're a thumper. You're not somebody to fool around with. I see you as a kid watching you and being in awe. And you get to Chicago and you're backing up the great Mike Singletary, who never gets hurt. So was there ever a discussion to move you outside? I mean, Jim Morrissey was out there, and I thought you were 20 times the player that he was. So was that ever something you were frustrated with? Like you didn't get time on the field?
No, not really, because they always told me there was a chance I could move outside, but learn inside first. That way I could know both inside and outside. And like I said, I had a chance my rookie year. I started that one game against Dallas, had a great game and got hurt. You know, you can't afford to get hurt in the NFL. If you get hurt, you lose opportunities. You go out there and play, and that was my chance right there. And you know, I had a lot of chances to play outside, but then like something would happen, I would get hurt, or you know, couple of years they had a special defense where I was playing like strong safety, you know, which was like against teams that were running like 2 tight ends on the field at one time. They would put me in against Cowboys. Matter of fact, the playoff game we lost to Cowboys, I was playing some strong safety on some plays. Yeah, so there's always a chance I could play it, but you know it never did stick because they kept drafting more and more outside linebackers. You know, they drafted Roper play outside. Then they drafted Ron Cox, and so
Ron Cox.
Yeah, they decided to keep me inside. But if I hadn't got hurt, I could have played more outside. But then I got hurt that one game, and then it's kind of didn't stick.
Speaking of getting hurt, you got a former teammate in the chat room.
Busting
Dante.
your balls.
Lemonhead says old ass there. I don't know if you want to address that or not.
Lemonhead.
You have a story about Lemuel in the locker room or anything you want to share?
No, a bunch of stuff, but I can't tell them.
Yes, you can.
I can't tell them all. I can't do it like that.
Oh, this is keeping it 100. Lemuel came in.
I can't do it.
It's all right. I won't press you, but you gotta give us some stuff. Like, what was it like with Mike Singletary? We see the eyes, we see the hype, the showcase on television, and Mike Singletary. I mean, you can't argue with how many Pro Bowls in a row? 9 or 10
a whole lot,
in a row?
A whole lot.
Exactly. Hall of Famer. What kind of man was he, and what kind of teammate was he? Was it, a lot of people say J.J. Watt is an act. Is Mike Singletary the real deal?
Not an act. Mike was the real deal. Mike would help you. Mike, show you how it's done. He was, he even took me to this place. It was guys who ran it was Bob Schultz and a guy named Craig, the 41 Club. It was like a workout place and rehab place. And Mike took me over there and really helped prolong my career because I had bad hamstrings. And so they would work it out. I could work out there for free. And then Mike set that up. And, he taught me a lot as far as reading defenses, studying, film. And Mike was probably one of the best teachers on our football team. Awesome. If you need to know something, Mike would definitely help you, figure it out and do the right thing. But, Mike was the real deal. And everything you see about him today was exactly what he was like on the football field. Yeah. No different. He was the same way in the locker room. Yeah, he's a good guy. You can't say that about a lot of people. Mike was definitely the real deal.
So let me ask him about this guy on the other side of the ball. You had a teammate. I'm just curious because I was so excited when he came to Chicago, but then I saw him and I was like, oh boy. And that was Craig Ironhead Hayward. When he came out on the field, when I saw the name being signed, I remember him from Pitt. And I was like, this fucking guy was Jerome Bettis before Bettis, that kind of athlete with that size. But then he came out, he looked like he was a 335-pound whopper out there. So was Craig, rest in peace, but give us a little story about him. I mean, was he that type of talent, but he just was out of shape? Is that the issue there?
I don't think he was the same player with us that he had been before.
Right.
He wasn't in shape. He was kind of overweight. And sometimes if you're not in shape, you're not gonna play well, and being in shape definitely hurt him. If he'd been in better shape, he could have helped us, but I don't think he was in the type of shape he needed to be a running back in the NFL. Everybody's big and strong, everybody can hit. He could have some quickness too, and he went down to quickness. He had to, if he didn't run over you, he wasn't gonna get by you. So being out of shape definitely hurt him.
So Dante, I don't know if you're a gambling man, but who's going to be the 21 starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears? You might as well throw. You want to throw your hat in the ring?
I hope Watson. But probably the guy they have now, Trubisky.
Oh, you think they're going to bring him back?
No, Dante. I think they're going to bring him back. Are they up high enough to get a good draft pick? That's the key.
20th.
We're at 20.
They have a good quarterback at 20.
They have to trade up to get a good quarterback.
Yeah. Trade for Watson. Either trade for Watson, they're going to keep the guy they have.
Yeah. Him or Russell Wilson. Put the Bears on his trade list.
That'd be a good pickup.
Yeah.
Why the Bears could never get a quarterback? We didn't have a quarterback when I played.
No, 101 years I've never had a quarterback. It wasn't
a good head coach, but he was a terrible quarterback.
So talk about Jim Harbaugh, the quarterback here, because I asked Lemuel about him, and Lemuel spoke well of him, and then he told me the story about Jim playing special teams as Lemuel was contained. Man, he looks over, there's Jim Harbaugh jumping up and down, getting ready to go down the field. But Jim, the quarterback, what was that like? I mean, the locker room knows. That's the thing. Anybody that's played the game of football, what these guys are. So what was Jim?
He was a good guy, but as far as being a quarterback, he wasn't ever good at quarterback. The best quarterback we had when I was there was Steve Walsh. I hate to admit that because he wasn't that good either. He wasn't that good either, but that's all we had. What's name was good too. What the other guy, the guy from Detroit?
Eric Kramer.
Yeah, Kramer was good. They both better than Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, they both better than Harbaugh, but we won more games with the last year with Steve Walsh in the quarterback.
I remember the playoff game up in Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah, so
Greg McMurtry catching.
Harbaugh. He's a good guy, but as far as quarterback, he's a good coach. He's a good coach, but
as
far as being a quarterback, he's nah. No, like I said, I guess they refused to draft quarterbacks high back in the day. They should have.
Yeah.
Instead of drafting defensive players, should draft some quarterbacks.
We have not had a quarterback. I mean, you think about it, you keep it 100.
Yeah.
McNown. Cade McCown. What was his name?
McNown. Yeah.
Josh McCown was probably our best quarterback, maybe. If you look at that little function of time that he had there, that was a coaching error.
Yeah.
The coach should have stayed with the high hand, but that's a whole nother. Yeah. Shane Matthews.
Yeah.
Jim Miller. Were you there with Jim Miller?
No, I wasn't Jim Miller, but Shane,
Yeah.
You were there with Shane Matthews. Peter Tom Willis. You were there with.
Yeah. Like I said, they try to get guys in the 5th round and put them in there like it was first rounders, man. That ain't gonna work.
Did you guys ever sit around in the locker room and be like, fuck, man, we can't move the ball on offense. Everything's on us.
Every night I watch some old stuff. I like reminiscing.
Yeah.
So I watched that 1993 season, the first season I started. We had a good defense. We had a lot of close games.
Yeah, Dent had a big year that year.
Yeah. We had a lot of close games. But we couldn't win games because offense couldn't do anything. And the playoff game versus Dallas, defense played well, but the offense couldn't do nothing. We lost 17-13, something like that.
Is that weird that we're in 2021 and that's still the same problem in Chicago? Yeah,
Chicago. They don't like drafting quarterbacks. All about
not good ones.
All about linebackers in Chicago.
Yeah,
I was drafting linebackers, but quarterbacks they don't want to do it.
Go ahead, Shayne.
So, Dante, I know. Do you follow the Bears much nowadays and see what they're doing, or do you have a read on what they're doing every day now?
I follow them, but I don't follow them like that. I don't follow. I watch football because I like playing fantasy football.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as far as, watching them like that, nah. I watch them though.
We'll have to get you involved in the TTNL Fantasy Football League here with
Yeah,
Dante
definitely,
Jones. Yeah,
definitely,
we'll start that up.
You want to
Oh,
be
yeah.
in it, Dante? You
Sure.
down for that?
Yeah.
Oh
definitely.
my God, that'll
We'll get you and
Yeah.
Lemonhead
We'll
going
put
head to head in
you
fantasy
guys head to
football.
head.
You
I
guys
crush Lemonhead. I crush.
That's right. Hold on. Let me ask you this: when you're there, who was the biggest pain in the ass as you're a rookie?
Lemonhead.
Was it?
You know what though? We had a lot of good times in Chicago. No, my rookie class, we had 12 guys.
Wow.
And so
12 guys.
12 rookies, yeah. So there's a tradition in Chicago where rookies had to go get donuts on the weekend, on Saturday before we take a trip. And if you forgot the donuts, the veterans would beat you up. Not beat you up, but they would tie you up, tape you up, and throw you in the cold shower, take you outside and take you to a goalpost. But we had a big rookie class, so we used to fight back. We used to have like some battles in the locker room. And, it's like, locker room was like a lot of big kids, and they had a thing called a splash where they would get somebody on the ground.
Okay.
Fridge would hop on top first, and everybody hop on top of the fridge and until they crushed you and you like gasping for air. So that was my best memory of the locker room.
Yeah.
Fridge hop on top of people and all of them just hop on top of fridge. And, you couldn't imagine guys like Dan Hampton and Richard Dent and Stephen Michael doing that. They was doing it too.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun.
What is the organization like? I mean, in terms of being, an alumni Chicago Bears players, are you still in contact with the organization that way? Do they still are you involved with them,
Yeah,
to this
I
day
get
with
stuff all the time. Yeah, I get stuff all the time. I got a hat and not a data book, but a book to keep, your daily stuff in. I got that this year. And I've gotten hats and shirts and they invite you up to this year I was going back for the first time in a long time for some functions, but the COVID kind of stopped that. But hopefully we can have the opportunity to do it this year. But they have alumni weekends once a year, and all alumni come back. But I haven't never been, but I was going back this year. But
we got it.
Hopefully I can make it back this year if COVID goes away.
If COVID goes away, no matter what, we're getting Dante Jones back there. I think that's their biggest fuck up I could ever say. They showed us their true colors with Gale Sayers. Gale Sayers dies.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer, gave his everything, heart and soul. They put a little fucking circle, number 40, where the water boy sits on the side instead of putting it out on the field, on the jersey, on anything. I mean, talk about being embarrassed. I'm keeping it 100. That's that. Then there's guys like Lemuel Stinson, our boy, our brother here. I love him. I already got the vibe. Like, you fit in this huddle. And you busted your ass for this team. They should always go back. Forget the Brian Urlachers and all these other guys. Yes, there's a place for them, but there's a place for everybody that's ever played on this team. They should be brought back, and they should stop the whole retiring of jerseys, Dante. I just do what Dallas does. That's the one thing I gotta say. Ring of Honor, put their names up there. It's so effed up that Mike Singletary has his jersey, retired, but then it's unretired. You know what I'm saying? They did that down in Arizona now with JJ Watt. This dude died, Goldberg. His whole family's that. Now Watt comes there. Oh, fuck the retirement. We're going to bring 99. That shouldn't happen. Guys like you deserve to be honored, be a part of this, and as well as those guys with jerseys, they put it up in the Ring of Honor. That's my mini rant. I get embarrassed by this organization because Ted Phillips has been there all this time, all this losing. They can't get a quarterback, and it's completely and utterly sad on every level that someone like you has never been back. You were our guy. So I don't know. I just got fired up for a minute thinking about you not being recognized.
But I've been invited back. you know.
Okay.
So it's not Chicago. It's
Okay,
been me. It's been me.
I'll tap the
like
brake
I said,
a little bit.
Yeah, but I was going back. Like I said, I was going back this past football season, but COVID stopped that.
Yeah.
So the next alumni thing that happens, I will be there.
I have
You know,
four.
like-
I have 4 text messages, all from former Bears. Now, I'm not kidding you. All wanting to be in the fantasy football league. So, Steve Edwards, you're in. Lemuel, you're in.
I'm
Dante,
Chris.
you're in, and there's a surprise guest. I'm not going to say their name yet.
Okay.
But somebody, speaking of surprises,
there we
somebody
go.
surprising us and saying they want to come on the show to talk to you face to face. Get back in the huddle. There he is.
Oh, come on, man. I talked to him all the time already. I don't need to talk to him all the time, man.
Tay the ruler.
No, nobody cooler.
This is
Oh,
not
Tay the
planned.
ruler.
There's no script here. We're in the
Hey,
huddle.
look what we're doing, baby. Look what we're doing.
I need a shirt, man. I need a shirt.
Alex Acevedo.
We'll get you one, man.
Man,
Okay.
we're sending it out.
What size you need?
What size are we
Yeah.
talking?
Double X.
You need a 4X.
No, I ain't no 4X. If they run small, I need a triple then. If they run small, I need a triple.
If they
What size
actually
Stinson
run,
got?
they run big. So we'll
It's
send
size
it.
baby.
He's busting your chop all the
Now,
time.
see, he upset because every time Texas Tech and Oklahoma play, he texts me. But then, like, after the game, I don't hear from about a year and a half. He'll call back. He called before the game. After that, he don't call no more.
That's because, hey, you know OU sucked to me.
That is Texas Tech, though.
The Red Raiders gonna do something to them. They gonna do something to them. We gonna
Last
beat
time y'all
them
won a
just
game.
bad one time. I can't tell you that.
We got 2 former Chicago Bears greats.
Same draft class.
Same draft class.
Same draft class, yeah.
Well, Dante, you got him beat on where you were drafted in regards to him. I mean, you got that.
But Stinson started playing early. He started as a rookie.
You don't got to tell us.
Early. I looked at, looking like I wish I was out there with Stinson.
Listen, you had to wait 5 years.
Playing early, so he played a whole lot better than I did.
You had to wait 5 years. Lemuel went right out there.
And right after
did his thing
and balls.
Now you mentioned, I see people in the chat. There's so many fans tuning in that want to be a part of this, and there's no script here. Dante Jones, Lemuel Stinson, these guys. I mean, this is Chicago. If you're a Bears fan and you're not listening in, you're missing out on watching these guys. If you're listening on the podcast, you got to go over to the YouTube channel, subscribe, see these 2 greats. Dante, I saw somebody ask about Steve McMichael. Can you talk about Steve Mongo McMichael? Was he a wild man?
The exact question was, how nuts was he?
He was a wild man. Wow. Plus he went to Texas.
Yeah.
Texas, I was over you, so it's a rivalry already. Even though we ain't playing college, but he reminded me of that all the time. He always trying to get bets. Because back then, Oklahoma was kind of sorry when I was in Chicago. So he liked to try to take my money. But yeah, he used to go at it like a good guy. But he was crazy.
Was his energy contagious and his effort? Because here's a guy that was cast off by New England, comes over to Chicago, and he plays for like 15 years. Down inside like that, I mean, with all the surgeries and everything like that, we see the WWF wrestler, but have you ever...
That's how he was in Chicago.
How he was.
He could have been in WWF in Chicago. He was the same mentality. So you knew he had a career after football into wrestling because he was basically a wrestler in Chicago. That same mentality, So he crazy. I mean, him, Dan Hampton, those are crazy guys, man. They were,
Did they ever square off those 2?
Now they screw up against us.
Nah.
Against us rookies. Against us rookies.
They wanted us rookies.
Yeah,
they talk noise to us all the time.
They was trying to get us right. You forgot the donuts. You forgot donuts. You was in trouble, man.
Oh
boy.
Run
back to the car.
So when you guys came in as rookies, did they still have the separate locker? No, now they'll put the rookies all downstairs together in a smaller locker room.
We was in the dungeon. We was in the dungeon.
Oh, so they did it back then too, huh?
Yeah, early. But once season started, we was back upstairs. But we saw, when they mixed you together. But before you made the team, you was separated.
Yeah.
They didn't want to see you. Couldn't talk. You had to sing. Had to sing your school album.
Can you sing it? Do you know the song?
I wrote it down for all my teammates because it was about 4 Oklahoma guys on the team. And so I wrote it down.
Yeah.
I knew it. But I saw ain't nothing. It was like 10 words.
Yeah.
Boomer sooner, boomer sooner, boomer sooner. Sooner born and sooner bred. When I die, sooner dead. Rock Oklahoma. Okay, you. That's it. That's the song. It wasn't no, that was it.
Awesome. I tried to sing band, so they told me to sit down.
You have this deep voice, Lemon, tonight. You're bringing this very White-esque voice tonight. You all right?
That sexy voice.
Only because I'm here.
That's that sexy voice.
It's that TTNL swag. It changes your voice.
Little linebacker. I got that swag.
Dante, you were there for Ditka. Then Michael McCaskey comes in and fires Ditka. What was that like for the locker room and the teammates? Because Ditka was like a god all over the country. I mean, he's on commercials, the Super Bowl Shuffle extended. They always played tough. Everybody and their brother would say, if the Bears are coming to town, they could have a shitty offense. They're going to fight and claw and scratch every time. What was the feeling when the news came down that Ditka had been fired?
It was a shock, because we didn't expect it. You kind of expected because we had a losing season. It wasn't up to our usual standards. But, we didn't know what to do. The football, people get cut and get fired all the time. So you got to kind of roll with it and go with the flow and try and do your best to move on. But it was a shock. We thought Mike Ditka would be there forever. Thought he'd be there longer than we would. We thought we'd be gone for him.
Right.
But, because he's a Chicago Bird. He was a real Chicago Bird.
Right.
Back in the day.
Did he ever talk about his game to you guys? Like ever say, I played this fucking game too, or any of that?
No, but
I know
not to me, but he threatened to send me back to Oklahoma a couple times.
He did the same thing to me too. Ditka always, when we got there, looked like Ditka always thought he could still play.
Yeah, and he did. He tried to fight people. Him and Harbaugh almost ran a couple times. He tried to fight Harbaugh all the time. I guess he thought he was soft. If I can beat him up, I can take him.
Is this on the football field or in the locker room?
On the field.
On the field.
On the field, Ditka was a beast on that field.
See, he knew could take me. Say, I'm seeing you back to Oklahoma, but Harbaugh, I can take Harbaugh.
The story is Harbaugh throws that interception on a check against the Vikings, a pick six. You're on the team.
He changed
the play. He pulls him out of the game, and that's where he went on this epic rant after the game about, I guess he called the reporter a dumbass. Here's your IQ, you asshole. And he went crazy, right?
Yeah.
Was that the impetus of this, or this had always been this kind of relationship, Harbaugh and Ditka?
I think it always been like that. I think it's always like that. I don't think it was just that. I think Harbaugh was doing it all the time. He was changing the play, doing what he wanted to.
Yeah.
Mike and Coach Ditka would get mad. I think he just wanted to beat Harbaugh up all the time.
Him and Coach Landry.
I don't know. I think they drafted Harbaugh without Mike Ditka's consent because he didn't like it. I don't think he liked it. He wanted to fight him all the time.
Wow. Jesus. It's crazy. It's crazy when we hear these stories of the teams we're watching and loving. I told the story about Lemuel Stinson, and he won me $500 in Madden picking off a pass. Picking off a one-handed pick.
His hands weren't that good either. Mad had his hands that good.
You can adjust your own attributes on there, right? Yeah, you can go and edit the player.
That should have been a pass breakup.
It was against Michael Irvin.
Against Michael Irvin too?
It was against Michael Irvin. $500 on the line. Lemuel came through.
I mean, pardon my French, man.
Hey, that's what it is, baby. That's what it is.
That was my
That's what
love.
it is.
I always loved Lemieux because you had Donnell Wolford, Lemuel Stinson, you had Mark Carrier, Sean Gale.
Yeah.
What was it? Crazy Maurice Douglas. Talk about this guy.
Maurice,
Was
my
he a
guy.
stripper? Was this
Maurice, my guy?
Was this the
I
real?
want to be like Maurice.
Yeah.
I want to be like Maurice.
Hey,
is my guy.
Maurice
He's the
did
guy.
Maurice.
He had his navel pierced.
No.
He had his navel pierced. That
No
was my guy.
deal,
That was my guy.
Hey,
But you know what?
yeah, that mountain lion.
He's a
Mo
coach
did
now.
Say that again.
Oh, we lost him.
Maurice, he's a coach now, so he's a straight arrow. Yeah, straight arrow now.
Where's
Yeah,
he
he's
a
coaching
coach
the
now?
OH10.
Yeah. Good coach too. Winning state
It's in
championship.
Ohio.
Yeah, winning state championship.
Nice.
We got to get Maurice.
Yeah, you need to get him on here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lemon's becoming a producer for this show because
Yeah.
this is the true story. I go,
Yeah.
I see Dante Jones. I go, oh my God. Now, true story. I saw somebody else. Get that person in the chat, Claudio, who said it. They used to play two-hand touch. We used to play tackle on the street, in the snow, on the and I would always, when I had a big hit, I'm like, Dante Jones, motherfucker. That's exactly how I would say it every time. And my buddy, he was like shorter than me.
Yeah.
And he was like, why aren't you saying Singletary? I go, Dante brings that thunder. I used to always say that. Dante Jones. I just love. In fact, my wife, I wish she was here because I wanted to name my son Dante.
Yeah.
My wife fought for Devin because she's like, you got Tate. I go, what? I want Tate and Dante. And it was because of you. That's the true story. And my wife negged that though, Dante. Sorry.
That's all right.
Next
time. One more time.
No more.
One more, man.
No more kids. I got 4. I'm done.
So we have a question in the chat for both of you guys. You can answer it. It says, have either of you been on the wrong end of a Mike Ditka ass chewing?
Multiple times.
They just said they
said,
yeah.
if you keep messing up, I'm gonna send you back to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
A couple times. And so I got out and straightened up after that. You know, my first year, I went home instead of staying in Chicago to work out. So I didn't come back in the best of shape. And then at that offseason, he said, either you're going to stay here or we might have to cut you. I said, I'm going to stay here, coach.
Yeah.
That's how he said, you back up. I'm going to send you back to Oklahoma. So, a couple times, Coach Ditka stayed on you, but some players need that, though. You need that. Get somebody who will tell you the truth and
he told me.
Tell you that when you're messing up, that way you can do it right.
How much accountability did you guys feel with these teams and the culture that, because I'm getting to this, Ditka, then Wannstedt comes in. So you guys felt it. So the difference between coaches, how much of a big difference was it between those two culturally as well as accountability?
Well, I'll say back then when Ditka left, I pretty much left. Wannstedt was trying to get us in, do what he does. Cowboys was winning and everything, and he came over. But we had that back then. It's all about loyalty and playing for the team and playing for your fellas and everything else. Like now, it's not like that. To me, we was all a knit group. We was tight. So whoever was down, we try to help them pick them up, and whoever was playing and balling, we try to ball with and do everything we need to do. But when Wannstedt came in, it just everybody kind of lost trust in what they went on, because when Ditka left, it was just like that was our world. I mean, that was our coach. He's hard nosed, and hey, we knew how to ride like that. Wannstedt came in, he wanted to be hard nosed, but he didn't win over the players first. He started cutting guys and taking guys here, moving guys, bringing guys in, and you do that, but it's a way to do it. But we just didn't like that coming in Chicago.
I know you brought up Wannstedt, Dante. Obviously, there's something there. Wannstedt comes in with this 4-3 stunt 4-3 scheme. The Cowboys using it. We'll need that 3-tech. Middle linebackers critical in that. You wait those 5 years, you get your opportunity. What's this real story with you and Wannstedt? Is it something that you felt like the coach let you down with empty promises? Because you were just the consummate professional on tape. I mean, you always brought the thunder. You always did what you needed to do. And it felt like, just from me looking in, and I was young from the outside looking in, that he traded for Vincent Smith and bringing his guys in. Was that something you felt?
He always tried to replace me. You know, the first year that he got there, he kept bringing new guys in. But, you know, football is all about competition. You know, competition can make you better. So I was the guy he was trying to replace. I don't know if it's because of Oklahoma, Miami days. I was a Barry guy. He didn't like Barry. I don't know what it was, but I felt like he didn't like me. But like he bought Vincent Smith in. He bought Percy Snow in.
Percy
and
Snow.
He tried to move some more people.
Oh my
back,
God.
you know, I beat them all out, and you know, and the system was a good system, and the way we was playing it, the way Steve McMichael and Fridge were playing it made me even better.
Right.
Because they wasn't doing what Wannstedt wanted to do. They wanted to tackle to shoot the gap, and they was doing the old style where they would hold the jump through. So I was able to run around and make tackles. And the middle linebacker wasn't supposed to make that many tackles in that defense. But I made a lot because of the way that I'm used to playing, just running and making tackles. And them guys were just holding the jump through. But, you know, Wannstedt isn't my favorite guy. Isn't my favorite coach. He might be low on the totem pole. That guy would not tell you the truth.
I think that's an OU in Miami thing.
No,
I mean,
he would not tell you the truth, man. He won't tell you the truth. He lie to your face.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's
a
problem right there, man.
Once you say something as a coach,
you got to be
you
real
have
with
to
that.
follow through and be real with it.
Like I said, that's why I respect Ditka so much, because if he got a problem with you, he'll tell you.
Yep.
Wannstedt, like, he can't look in your eye and tell you the truth. You know,
that's
like
sad.
I found out I was cut by sitting on TV.
Oof.
The Bears didn't call me. Me and wife laying in bed watching news. Said Dante Jones been cut. What? Been cut. So I called my agent. He called the Bears like, we ain't cut him. Then a day later, I am cut. So
God.
So, but I just saw Wannstedt. I just saw Wannstedt the week before at a function in Florida. The Bear function, you know, it was free. So me and wife went out of Bears there. Everything good. We love you. We're gonna bring you back. A week later, I'm cut. So you can't.
That's the biggest letdown.
All the player wants is the truth, man. The truth.
Tell them the mule.
Yeah.
I got another story, but I don't know if I should say
it.
Go ahead, man.
Wannstedt did the same thing to me.
Did the same thing to my boy.
Because we played against the New Orleans Saints, and we balled out, and we was going for I was starting playing. I was just coming back. Went to block a punt. I was getting ready to go block a punt, but no punt return was back there. So I went back and go to punt return, make sure the ball don't go in the end zone. You know, stopping on the 10. You know, everything go right. Next thing I know, once they say great play, all this here. Next day we gonna be glad to have you and everything. I get up that morning, I walk out the door, I'm released. I'm packing up clothes and everything. So it's
this is the true story.
Ditka was straightforward.
Yeah. I got another story
what
too.
you get. Yeah, you get from Ditka.
Yeah.
Let it fly, Dante.
Okay. You know, I finally got to talk to Wannstedt about getting released. They know you still a Bear, you know, but we're gonna release you. So you can still come to the, you know, complex, hang out, work out if you want to. So I'm like, cool. And so I had many places to work out. And so I went back to the place to work, Halisaw to work out a couple days later. And then Russ Reader leave and come back and say, I have to leave. You got to leave. You can't work out. I'm like,
so the
I was thinking, Wannstedt said I could, but I didn't say Wannstedt said I could. But I was thinking, he said I could. Why you say that if I couldn't?
Right.
You know, just tell the truth, you know, because being a Bear is all I knew. All my friends on the team. So that's the only reason I was there. If he hadn't said I could come up there, I wouldn't have. Because I had a lot of places to work out. I was Dante Jones.
Dante Jones.
I can work at a Club 41 with my guys.
Tay the ruler.
Tay the ruler. So why tell me
He
that?
tell y'all, his nickname.
That was my
call
nickname.
me Lemonhead.
I gave it to myself.
They call him Tay the ruler. He gave himself a Tay the ruler name. David Tate gave himself the land shark. That's after they start calling me Lemonhead. So them boys there, they gave their own names.
David Tate.
I was the official nickname giver. You know, I gave out our nicknames.
That's me on this show. So go. Yeah. You're the nickname giver.
Myron
I love
Baker,
it.
touchdown maker. I gave him that nickname.
Oh, Myron
Big Play
Baker.
Dante. I gave myself that nickname.
Myron
Big Head Joe Kane. I gave him that
Joe
nickname.
Kane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Joe Kane.
Big Head Joe Kane.
Did he get a special helmet? Because that
He had to.
Huge.
I played with a Samoan dude. They had to order a special helmet for the guy. And they said, I swear to God, this is the same helmet Joe Kane wears for the Bears.
Hey, we had a few guys who they couldn't wear a bike helmet, had to wear a Rydell helmet because the helmet was so big. You know, they couldn't wear a bike, they had to run a Rydell because the head was so big. You know,
my God.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You know, you're playing middle linebacker, you're dealing with all this drama. I don't want to skip over that stuff because I think it's imperative as we look at Allen Robinson. He's going through this situation with this organization. He's played his ass off. He's becoming a free agent. Now they're playing. Yeah, he's playing back.
He's still getting paid.
He's still getting paid.
He deserves to get paid.
Oh, we all agree.
Deserves to get paid.
But he's either going to get the franchise tag, and what is it now? 16 million that he's guaranteed, 18 million guaranteed on a tag, or he's going to get extended. But the two-face stuff, that stuff, again, you guys didn't have social media. In fact, I was telling Shayne before the show, I've never heard Dante Jones in an interview. I heard Lemuel Stinson when I was a kid. I never saw you in front of the camera all of my time of being a Bears fan, ever.
I had a radio show.
I never saw it. Never heard it.
No, but back then it was just radio. It wasn't no podcast. It was just radio.
What show? So, what channel was it?
I'm not sure, but it was like it was a weekly show. It was a weekly show. Yeah, a weekly radio show. They asked me questions. They said I had an opportunity to be in radio, but I came back to that.
You got a spot here with us. I'll tell you that. You're bringing it tonight, keeping it 100 with us.
Too much.
We're allowed to cuss on this network. That's
hey, no, back then I couldn't do it.
Oh, back then.
Dante, how hard was it? You talked about coming into the league, top 50, 51st pick, Chicago Bears and all hyped up. How difficult was it for you to not come in? And I know you had guys like Singletary ahead of you, but you talked about for waiting for your chance for so long. How did that affect you mentally year after year, getting hyped up? And you said you went away and came back maybe not in shape. Did that play a part in it just because you're like, Jesus, I'm going to go out here and bust my ass and I'm still not going to get the burn yet?
It did play a part because I knew I wasn't going to play. So I didn't take it serious as I should have. I'm like, let me go and just learn what I got to learn to back up Mike because Mike ended up getting hurt, so I ain't going to play. So I'm just going to, not give it out. I gave it all I could, but I could have did better. I think like I said, I kept getting hurt at the wrong times when I had a chance to play.
Yeah.
Outside. If I hadn't got hurt, I probably could have hung on the outside because, I think I was good as Jim and Ron. So I could have played.
I'll speak for you so you don't get in trouble.
But like I said, I kept getting hurt. When I had the chance, I got hurt. But like football is all about chances, about opportunity. You got to take advantage when you can. And I failed to do that. But no, it was tough playing behind Mike, but it was a learning experience. I learned a lot. And I finally got a chance to play against Frisco, I think my second year. I mean, it might be second year, third year. And Mike got hurt early against last game of the season. I had like 16 tackles. Yeah. And so that's the reason Bears kept me. Like, he can play, but he be acting up. He can play. Hopefully he can turn this stuff around. And luckily I did. I think after that I started doing the right thing and staying out of trouble and taking it more serious.
Well, let me ask you this. There's a couple
Dante was a baller. Dante was a baller.
You saw it on the college tape. I mean, he was a dominant defensive thumper. Like his physicality and your instinctive awareness. If you didn't see his intro, you're going to have to go back and watch it. I have some more tape of him I'm going to play in a minute as he became a Chicago Bear, the starting inside linebacker against the San Diego Chargers. I remember watching this game. John Freeze is at quarterback. Remember John Freeze? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to play that in a minute, but I want to ask you about a couple things. Lonzo Spellman, you know, I remember the Bears drafted this guy. I've never seen a human being physically built like this guy, like a Greek Adonis. What was his disposition, and did you see issues when he was your teammate with him, or it just was, you know, culturally? What was it with Alon?
He was a different type dude. He was different. I mean, he was different. I mean, he took like 3-hour showers. I mean, you know, everybody take a shower, get out. He was taking 2-hour showers. I mean, he was like, he was different, man. I mean, it's hard to describe. You know, he was a freak. He was, 6'4", wingspan of a 7'5" person.
Oh, my
God.
God.
Strong. You know, he could run. You know, but everything wasn't up top.
Right.
You know, he was a freak. He was a freak of nature. A freak of nature.
And then when you
he's a big muscle. He's a big muscle. Oh, it hurt the shoulder.
Let me ask you this. You line up at middle linebacker. Obviously, your teammates as well can be thrown in here. You know, who was the most difficult player you had to go after and tackle physically? Was it a Barry Sanders? Was it somebody else in the league?
Barry's easy. To me, the hardest player, Herschel Walker was tough. He was a big guy, had a big shoulder pads. But the guy who I had to tackle was a preseason game. It was a goal line play. I made a good hit on him. It was a good hit. But hit him a goal line, he still fell forward for the touchdown.
Oh, yeah?
Christian Okoye, man.
Oh, my. The Nigerian
nightmare. Yeah, he was about 260. I'm only about 235. So, you know.
Holy shit.
You know, so I hit him
coming downhill.
I hit him flush right on the goal line. He fell. He made it by an inch. It was an inch. He barely made it, man. Barely made it. Yeah.
That's when you go back to the huddle and like, oh my fucking God, I put everything into that.
Yeah, Christian Okoye and Herschel Walker was a tough tackle too. It was tough tackle. He had the big shoulder pads, man.
So you'd have no trouble with Barry Sanders. Nothing.
Oh no, y'all play against Barry in college. You know, my job was
rivalry.
They kept inside the tackles. I'm good. If you're trying to have me catch Barry on the corner, I ain't catching him.
Right.
I'm part of his highlight, but I'm not a highlight. Because I didn't have contain, man. It lost contain. Everybody send me that tape.
A lot of people see that highlight of him spinning on you.
I'm like,
this is your shot.
I'm like, that's not my job. If he's inside, somebody turn him back, I'm making a tackle. Because that game, I had about 13 tackles. But I ain't making that 14th tackle when Barry's sprinting toward the sideline, man. I can't make that. You know, he turned him back to him, I got him. Yeah, if you turn him back to him, I got him, man.
Yes.
Dante, you let this guy fall forward? That little dude?
Look at him, man. He had big shoulder pads too, man.
You and him had big pads.
He fell for the inch.
I hit him on the edge step. He had lineman pads.
Yeah, he had lineman pads, man. He couldn't grab his thighs, man.
Look at the size of those kids.
I wasn't hitting low. I was aiming high. I was aiming high anyway.
I hit him one time.
This is how I tackled.
Lemuel Stinson at 150 pounds used to throw his body in there and play physical football. You guys were coached differently. As I look back at some of the highlights of what you were saying here, the complete and utter disgust of no loyalty with Wannstedt and being a head coach and being honest with your players. accountability issues there. And the reality of those truths with the charter franchise that we see going spinning spirally and being condescending this offseason to a fan base that is full blown in love. It's like a crack addict, really, for the Chicago Bears. You can't get enough of them. I'm telling people not to buy the stuff to support them because it's unfortunate that we gotta keep living in a time where we can't get the quarterback position right. Middle linebacker is a tradition. Running back in Chicago is a tradition. Now they got to do something at quarterback. I really believe they're going to be huge players in Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson. That is good. And we're going to go live. You both are welcome to come on and give your analysis. But before I even go any further, I want to play some Dante Jones for some of you millennials out there that have never seen Dante play the ruler like Slick Rick the ruler.
Nobody cool. If you got a girl, I schooler.
That boy is stupid.
First man to get a piece of him was Dante Jones, the middle linebacker, and slowed him up. Dante Jones waited behind.
The graphics even look different.
He's now making the most of his chance, averaging over.
There he is, young Dante.
Number 85 is in.
There he is in the middle, guys. Marion Butts.
Inside the 25 to about Mike Singletary. Jones, Big 8 player of the year when he played in college at Oklahoma. Just a tremendous player there. He's leading this club.
There's Chris Dorich.
Look at him. With that neck roll on.
Yeah, he got the pads.
I always had neck roll, man.
You got that what was that? Cowboy collar, right?
Look how Rich is standing. Rich is high.
He's coming in. Here he goes now. Ronnie Harmon stuffing him in the hole. He gets a little beat with his flow here.
Dante Jones doing an excellent job. You see him right here. He's going to read the back. He's going to see Harmon. Harmon's going this way. He's going to fill right into the hole.
Look at him throw to the football.
That guard pulling right there.
Look at it. Pull it.
Right there. Read the guard.
You still see it.
Read the guard. Yep.
Read the guard. Hit that gap. That's what we do here.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man. Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100 on Dante Jones. You saw you're breaking it down. Did you feel the read there behind there?
Yeah, that was a read. You got to read the guard. You got Mike back got to read the guard and the back at the same time. You got to somehow separate your eyes and read both of them. And I was able to do that. I think I learned that from Mike Singletary. It's something he tried to help me with. And that was one of my best. I could do it in college too. It was one of my best assets: quickness and reading the play. Reading the lineman. You got to read more than one person at the same time. If you're playing Mike Backer, you got to be able to read the tackle. The tackle or the tight end come down and hit you and come and step inside them too. So it's a process, man. A decent Mike Backer.
Now, when you see that film and footage, does it get the juices flowing? Like, do you ever get fired up watching the games?
When my kids act up, I say, let me put on the tape for you. I'm not on VHS. And so we still got a VCR in there. When my kids act up, like, let me show you a tape. Dad, don't play that. When they make talk noise, like, I used to play. My daughter, she had a class with, she went to Oklahoma. She had a class with Baker Mayfield. She had a class with Baker Mayfield. She had a class with Baker Mayfield. I said, you live with Dante Jones for 18 years.
Yeah.
That is great. Make sure you clip that highlight.
Yeah. Yeah. How you excited about that in the class with Baker Mayfield? You live with me for 18 years, child.
Dante, talking about your career and your making the big hits and everything like that, you talked about your shoulder coming out, and I mean, how is your general health and everyday health from football? How are you dealing with things with that?
you know, the reason I retired, when I left Chicago, I partially tore my pec muscle.
Yeah.
And I got to Denver and tore the rest of the pec and rotator cuff. So that's why I retired. But then I had surgery, so it healed. But I don't have my full flexibility. My golf swing not where it should be. I can't get that full rotation on my golf swing.
Is that the only thing that's holding you back on the green?
Yeah, I could be a Tiger Woods if I had that full
There you
flexibility.
go.
But yeah, plus a little short-term memory loss. But other than that, I'm in decent shape. Compared to some guys. Some guys in a whole lot worse shape. So I have nothing to complain about.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
Couple gangsters up in here. Lemuel Stinson, for those of you just tuning in now, have over 213 people tuning in live and more will watch overnight as Keeping It 100, sponsored by Shy City Sports. Go over there, check them out. Shy City Sports, they got message boards, all that stuff, good stuff there. We actually are going to be having some sponsors, some big news coming up in the next couple of weeks. So there's a lot of exciting stuff. We got our own music director, Lemuel. If you haven't heard some of his original beats, let me just give you a taste of the beat. Just a tip.
Shout out Tape Never Lies.
Look at that. Just a little bit. It wasn't even the much of the beat. I thought it would be coming quicker. I was trying to give you a tape, but shout out Cool Kennedy, our new music director here. All our music and everything is original stuff. And with all of these great guests we've had this year, I can't even believe how much we've had. I got a question, though, about Chris Zorich. Here's a guy, went to Notre Dame. Everyone knows the story. Undersized player, played with heart. What was he like as a teammate, and how was he in the locker room for your team in regards to you playing with him? Obviously, Wanstead was the head coach at that time.
Talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah.
No, I ain't playing with him.
He didn't play with him.
He was a good guy, but he was a coach. He was a Coach Wanstead guy. Okay. He was a Coach Wanstead guy. Coach Wanstead loved him. Like I said, with my first year playing under Wanstead, Steve was still there and Fred was still there, and they was playing it like playing defense tackle like they did when Coach Tobin was the coach.
Right.
But they was holding the jump through. So I was making a lot of tackles. Then Chris got in there. He was doing like the Wanstead wanted to do, just shoot the gap. Don't worry about the Mike back. Let him not get hit. And you try to make the play. So he was out for himself, which is understandable. If that's the way that they want you to go, do that. So he was doing it. But
how good was the Fridge, though? Because the Fridge gets this label because he became such an icon on the stage because of the 85 Bears, the Fridge, the rookie, the rap, the TV commercials. He became a household. I mean, people still to this day, because I live in Connecticut. So I have people come up to, I love the Bears. You remember, they always will remember the Fridge. They'll always say the Fridge. So that's their go-to. What I'm watching you, obviously cutting that tape. And here's the Fridge playing, and he's popping off on the tape, playing his ass off out there. Talk about the Fridge.
For 10 yards, he had the quickest 10-yard step for any player. For 10 yards. And he was at 370, 380 or whatever. And like I said, he would hold that jump through because he was a big guy. He'd take two guys to block him, so he was able to keep people off the Mike backer. But Fridge could play, but his distance was only 10 to 15 yards. He couldn't chase nobody down the field.
Right.
But 10 to 15 yards, he had a quick for 10 to 15 yards, quick step, a lot of power, a lot of strength. He can play.
He's too quick. He's too quick for the center and the guard. He was too quick and strong and had natural strength.
He had the size.
Natural
Man.
strength.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
One of the best. Probably you will never see a nose guard. Michael Dean Perry and Fridge was just the best at it.
Yeah.
He just would fire through there so quickly and had so much power. What a personality, too. Such a lovable, honest guy. Good guy. I hope, his health, obviously, at one point was really concerning. Do you guys still talk to him?
Well,
I haven't talked to him. Yeah, but, with NFL, the players don't keep in contact with each other that much. Some guys do. I keep in contact with my college teammates more.
Really?
Me and Stinson, we talk, but most of the guys who I hung out with in Chicago, I don't really talk to. I don't know. I guess because it's a business. And so once that business is over, you kind of move on.
Have you ever
I call them if they don't. I call them if they even want to talk. I don't even. I pick up the phone, care what number I call, and I say, "Hey, what are you doing, Dante?" I call them on Facebook or something like that because sometimes you got to remember these guys because when you start losing your memory and start thinking, the day's Thursday, but no, it's Friday. Things like that. You want to at least try to remember faces. So, I call them all the time. I call David Tate. I let him know what's up.
I love that.
I
honestly,
I ain't talked to Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey do it. Mickey Pruitt.
Mickey Pruitt.
Mickey Mad Dog. It's Mickey Mad Dog Pruitt.
Mad Dog. Yeah, I ain't talking to him.
Mad Dog Pruitt.
Here's my wedding. So a lot of guys you in contact with.
I could speak for Lemuel because I know he loves you based on the way he spoke to me about you. So there you go. You got a friend in that guy. I love.
I'm my friend.
I can tell.
Oklahoma.
I'm a big.
No, he's everybody. He's just a friendly guy.
I'm a big Dante Jones fan before tonight. Now you've pushed me over the top, so I can't say enough about you. Let me say this before I forget, Shayne. Actually, Shayne, you have a question. So
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
The McCaskies, as a football player, did you ever run into them in regards to their ownership, whether it be the mom or Michael was the CEO, chief executive? When I was cutting your tape, it was at the point of him talking about firing Ditka and moving on. And I swear to you, I'm going to do it next show. I just didn't have enough time to cut his interview, but it's the same bullshit that they're saying
nowadays. Yeah,
it's unreal. The fans are going to be like, "Oh my god!" So here's Michael McCaskill. Did you ever have a run-in with them? And was it just the same kind of shit? This lying.
Never talk to me every now and then, but not like that. Just hello. Because back then, Hallis Hall, the office was upstairs, so you go upstairs every now and then, and you would see him. Just say hello. I don't know why I was upstairs for. Maybe didn't even collect a check. I don't know why I was upstairs.
They said Alex. They said Alex Brown always used to go upstairs to ask for more money.
He got fined probably. He probably got fined.
Sometimes you would go upstairs to see him, but it wouldn't be in the locker room. He wouldn't be in the locker room, but you see him every now and then. I didn't have much contact with him.
So not even the mom, Virginia, the owner.
I don't know. I seen him too, but I'm not sure where I saw it.
I seen them on. They always really cool with me because I was talking to them. I seen them on the elevator going up to the room. They really nice. Ed liked to sing. He always sang a lot, and then he did a lot. I mean, they're real genuine people. Mike was Mike, So Mike McCaskill was Mike, So he was always trying to get things done, always business-like.
Okay.
Lemuel's a big Ted Phillips fan from last time we had him on the show, right?
I don't understand.
No. I didn't say I was a big Ted Phillips fan. Hey, that hurt my shoulders. I raised up. It hurt my shoulders. Ted Phillips, we had our moments.
We're trying.
He's an okay guy. They didn't get rid of him, did they?
No, they sure did.
I told you.
How long you been there? 50 years? How long you been there?
Oh my God.
84 years?
Been there forever.
Been there for a minute.
He's the one who blocked. He doesn't meddle, but he blocked the LaDainian Tomlinson trade.
Yeah, can you
He
imagine?
doesn't meddle, but he hired
Damn.
Ryan Pace. He doesn't meddle, but they selected Mitch Trubisky and passed 2 generational quarterbacks that, oh, by the way, Watson and Mahomes. I don't, until they allow a football president that alleviates a Dave Wannstedt by understanding, I'm going to talk to players. What is this guy like? That two-face shit, that doesn't fly in the NFL. You got to be straightforward and have the respect of your locker room, and that what they did to you both, just, I don't know. It's just crazy. It doesn't sit well with me at all because you guys were out there. I saw somebody in the chat wanting to know if you guys have your rookie cards. Do you have your NFL rookie cards?
I got mine. I have mine. I have my.
Do
I
you?
got some cards. I don't know if it's rookies or not. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I have
they
mine. I have
wanna,
a
like,
lot.
send them to
20,
you.
30
That's
cards.
why. Okay.
I got cards. I don't know if they're rookies. I don't know.
Well, if that person wants to get Dante Jones his rookie card, you can reach out to Shayne or myself, and we'll make sure we get it over there with the swag, Dante, that we're going to send you.
No doubt.
Oh,
Definitely.
We'll get
And
this.
then you
Gotta
rock
get that swag, baby.
Yeah, that swag on. Alex Acevedo's already talking about it. What do you want? A long sleeve tee like Lemuel?
You got
Yeah, I need
hoodies.
long
You want a hoodie?
If Lemuel has extra medium, give me another extra medium.
We're gonna get you a double X. What do you want? A hoodie?
He need a 3X. You better get him a 3X. He look like he's
Texas,
swelling up.
I need a hoodie once every 5 years in Texas.
Oh, that's true. So let's get you the
Normally, I just need a long sleeve shirt.
Wannstedt just texted me. He said you'll get what we send you.
Oh man! Okay, I take it. I take the hoodie.
Whatever come in the box.
We're gonna keep you. No, we're not.
Okay.
Gee, that's
You're
terrible.
here. That's the worst. You're getting a t-shirt.
Okay, thank you. Long sleeve.
Yeah.
Long sleeve or short? Now is your
long sleeve. Like I said, since Stetson got the medium, extra swing, give me a double X. I'm good.
We'll get you out there. Make sure you're wearing that TTNL, the tape never lies swag, as you know, never does. You know, Dante, it never lies. You know that. Now you've made a lot of Wannstedt haters, and that's okay.
As well they should be.
Exactly. I see the chat. Look at this.
Destroyed the Bears, man. He destroyed the Bears, man.
That's what they say.
Dante, you think he gonna get wind of this conversation, ain't he?
Hey,
three stories about it tomorrow.
I posted. I said I hated Wannstedt, which my wife said was strong. So yes, strong. So, but I dislike him with passion. How about that?
You dislike him with passion.
That's passion. Yes.
With a passion.
Yes. Hate's too strong.
There's a
Hate's
lot
too
of
strong, but I hate with passion. Huh?
There's a lot of PC in this world. You guys always kept it 100 as players. I can't thank you guys enough for coming on. Lemuel obviously saw you on center stage, and he's like, I got to get in with my boy and make this huddle and talk the truth about it. Lemuel, do you have a great story about Dante Jones, since he didn't want to tell? He's keeping quiet about you, but I know you have that.
Tell you the ruler, boy. Hey, when we say party in Chicago, hey, when we say best dressed, he best dressed. He got the hat, he got the everything. He's G'd up, he laid down. So hey, we could not dress Dante. I promise you that.
He was the man with the plan, with the swag. His suits were on point.
Phil, every time he get on the plane, he was best dressed.
Best dressed right here. Look at you. And I know you're working out now, Dante,
Just started.
There go your homeboy.
For real. Come on, I was better than that.
Got to see his reaction.
I was better than that, man. I was better than that.
He went from
I got.
We told you Lemieux was the
punch it back a little bit.
We told you Lemieux was the producer. He put that up there.
Who did that?
That was all the mule.
Oh man,
That's your homeboy right there.
We're partners now, man.
Well, I can't. I know we took a lot of your time. I mean, you came on here at 9 o'clock, an hour and 15 minutes. I don't want to keep you, but I don't mind if you stay as we get into this. But I have a favor to ask, unless Shayne, you had any more questions.
Go ahead, man. No, I know where you're going. Yeah.
So every guest we have, including this guy next over here, what is it? Let's move him up here, and you guys could cause trouble. So we'll isolate on you. You give us a station ID, and I'll give you the script. And it took Akeem Hicks, what is it, 8, 9 takes.
Yeah, Lemieux did it in one take.
Lemieux did it in one take. We gotta give him credit.
Yep.
One take, Stinson.
Yep.
So,
You must write it down for Stinson. Did you write it down for him?
No, baby.
He's gonna start an Lemieux's gonna start an Equalizer 3 and take over for Denzel. He was so good.
You knew I was the smartest one on the defense.
What the? I emailed him a week ago.
So you're gonna say this is former Bears middle linebacker Dante Jones. I'm keeping it 100 with my guys Shayne and Phil on the Tape Never Lies Network. That's a lot, right?
That's Oklahoma. Hey.
You had a radio show. I mean, come on.
I've been drinking.
That's even better.
That's tea. That's iced tea.
I was drinking iced tea, man.
See, at first I saw your post today. You were like, I'm going to drink clear. I'm not going to tell all my stories. And you changed your mind. That shows me. I hope your wife was the one that said, go on there and speak that truth.
No, she was talking about do the clear. I've been watching it the whole time. Make sure I ain't
standing over here. She's over there. Is she coming on this? Is she going to
take him looking.
You look.
Yeah, you send me that in a text so I can read it. Man, I can't remember that.
Okay. Can we send him a text?
Hey, Phil, you gotta know he's a linebacker. He took a lot of hits to the head.
Take a lot of hits.
I was doing the hit, man. I was doing the hit.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. You was doing the hit.
Well, you had to take on those fullbacks. Who was the fullback you hated to take on? There's always one of those mothers from Nebraska or something.
Let's see.
Craig Haywood.
Steve Smith, probably, man. Steve Smith.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Dude. Yeah, he was tough, man.
Oh my God, he had a freaking mustache in 6th grade. Remember?
Yeah, Penn State. Yeah, we
Penn State.
Orange Bowl. Get that button Orange Bowl too.
I'm gonna text you with a script.
Okay.
He got to be the worst. It's OU. You represent OU.
You represent
first
one OU. The OU education.
They didn't go to class at OU. They just went
last week we had
I got a degree in political science, man.
Last week we had a kid from Yale. It took one time.
What was the teacher's name?
Which ones? Many of them. Many teachers, man.
I can say it for you, and then you do it right after me, and I can cut it together if it's too hard. Yo, this is Dante Jones, former middle linebacker of the Chicago Bears.
I can do it.
Okay, I'm doing it right now. I'm not a quick typer.
I ain't got it.
Tell you why
I'm texting it now. I'm typing it.
Okay.
On live on the air. Live. Shayne, ask him a question. Get a question from the chat, Claudio. Have you even seen our barber here? Claudio, I made him remember. Where is he going?
What's up?
There he is.
He's got some swag on.
You might have to get this hat too. What do you think of this hat?
The mule wants that hat.
Yes.
No, the mule wants that.
I do have a question. Somebody was asking what you guys' thoughts on John Theory People want
former first round pick.
You know, what were you guys' thoughts on him?
He was a good guy. He was a good player, a good guy, came from a small school. But, I don't think, out of talent, 6'5", 260, run like a 4'5", all the talent in the world, but some things didn't click.
Yeah.
As far as in the football aspect of it.
And then another one.
Wait. Let me ask piggyback on John Theory. Dante, especially for you. John Theory, Alcorn State, first round pick, Dave Wanstead era. He comes on the practice field right away. Could you tell right away that that John Theory was way not ready to be an NFL player?
I don't know about way not ready because nobody's really ready to be an NFL player, until they get out there and just actually show it. Sometimes it takes some players longer, but come from Alcorn State, you're going to take some time. How long did it take Steve McNair to really blossom into who he became? It doesn't happen just overnight, but he had a chance, like he had all the potential to be a great player. Some things just didn't click.
It didn't click. People 780 in Chicago was the Dante Jones show.
Yeah, there we go.
This guy had his own show. Look at our crack research team.
I see you, James Foster.
James Foster.
Yeah,
get something for that. Claudio should buy it because he's not doing his job researching that.
Yeah,
Chris Jackel's pining to be a producer. He didn't have that. It was James Foster. You guys keep it 100. Great work. Look at this. How about this? Adam Rank from the NFL Network. Do I need to show up to defend Nagy? What are your thoughts on Coach Nagy, guys?
Who?
Woo! You got a lot of work to do right now.
First, we'll start with former defensive back from Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, Lemuel Stinson. What are your thoughts on Matt Nagy?
I think they already signed him to come back, so I think that he has a lot to prove this year. So he has to make sure he make the right decisions and put Chicago in the place to win and play ball, not back and just be like trying something because it's like you're just throwing plays out there hoping they work. You got to have a plan behind your plays, and I think that he need to be accountable for this football season.
I love the word accountable. Dante Jones, Oklahoma.
Everybody's not a head coach.
There you go.
Some guys are better as offense coordinator, defense coordinator, position coach. Everybody's not a head coach, man.
So, Nagy or Wanstead? Which one?
Both.
He said both. Why you stupid? Boy, you
You are.
Let me change that. Wanstead's the defense coordinator. Mainly a positional coach. He's not a head coach. No, he's good the way he does. Ain't good now. Doing college games, he should stick to that. Doing the college games.
He's a good analyst. You're talking.
I watch. When I see him, I turn the channel.
It's hard to watch him.
It's hard to watch him, man.
Yeah,
I know he's lying. I know he's lying.
I hear you.
So when
Dude,
say get off of the field.
I'm so glad he needed the script because we just got some gold information. Thank you to my boy Adam Rank from the NFL Network. That dude, if you are not, go over and check out his YouTube channel. That's my boy. Again, I'm always promoting other shows that keep it 100 and that do what they need to do when it comes to this franchise. And you two are keeping it 100 step for step with me and Shayne. Matt Nagy should have been fired. Ryan Pace, Lemuel, you and I have talked. The only guy that has missed more first-round selections and has been with his franchise is Mike Brown, who owns the Cincinnati Bengals. So he ain't firing himself. So the fact that they kept Pace, now you saw this presser. We're going to get into it. Pace and Nagy are like what you guys said. They're in over their head. You can't go to the charter fucking franchise and have to learn how to be a head coach on the job when you're not good enough as an offensive coordinator, as a play caller. And it's unbelievable on every level. And when you add Dante's story to this whole, franchise, it gets me so frustrated because football people like Lemuel Stinson should be brought in, Dante Jones brought in, Olin Kreutz, as I've said many times, that understand what it takes to win in this league and what it takes to hire the right people that are going to find the hidden gems, the young Bill Belichick, the Pete Carroll when he was young, and build off that. Look at Mike Tomlin. It's disgusting how many black coaches got overlooked. It's still going on. You blew my mind tonight. 1970, it took Texas. 1970. So don't give me the shit that there's no bias when it comes to the Chicago Bears. When I look at the quarterbacks they've drafted, I keep it 100. You had a chance at Deshaun Watson. We'll keep it there real quick. You got the script, right, Dante?
I got it.
Okay. Last point. I know I ruffle feathers.
Smoke weed. Record this.
Mitch Trubisky and Deshaun Watson are on the board, and they both play in the ACC. And somehow this guy, saw the potential. And there was a lot of other people that did. Unfortunately, Shayne and I were not those guys. It was easy layup, Deshaun Watson. Real quick, if they trade 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson to make up their mistake, not only are they admitting their mistake, but they're obviously desperate, having to do what they should have done originally and properly addressed your job to find the quarterback, which is it's been a miss all this time. So that's my mini rant as I delayed for Dante Jones to make his TTNL debut. Former host of the Dante Jones Show on 780 in Chicago. Dante, you ready?
I'm ready, man.
I'll count you down on a 3, 2, 1, and then you'll say the script. You ready?
Yeah, ready.
3, 2, 1.
Yo, this is Dante Jones, former middle linebacker for Chicago Bears. You keeping it 100 with Shayne and Phil on the tape never lies. What up?
Oh my God. One take, Lemuel.
Yeah, one take, Lemuel.
Well, come on now.
One take, Lemuel.
You have to run that back.
You guys have been amazing. If this isn't the best show, I don't know what it is. Look at Lemuel. Look at Lemuel. Look at him, head on a swivel right there, John.
Right there.
Hey, that's probably a pick for a touchdown right there. I only had 2 of them. Is that Minnesota?
No. Minnesota was at Minnesota. I put that up for you this week.
Hey, I seen that. That was beautiful. Hey, I got a lot of calls from that one too.
Hey,
you're looking to the sideline. You're looking to the sideline to see where Wanstead was, right?
I don't think Wanstead at that time. It was probably Ditka.
That was
it had to be Ditka.
If you're not a fan of Lemuel Stinson and Dante Jones, you millennials, after this show, you got to go watch their tape. Do the research. These guys are amazing people. Look at Joe Marino saying, great job, Dante Jones. You're getting a lot of fans tonight. I really appreciate you guys. Lemuel jumping on with you. Teammates, friends, that's really what this is about. This is a family.
This is my dude.
We appreciate
that's my line. Hey, that's my linebacker, ride or die. He always there for me. So we always, watch out for you. I think I owe him a lot of money right now because Oklahoma been beating Texas Tech since he got out the league. $20 a game. So yeah, I'm down right now.
I have a Bears nerd. I'll have him do the math. We'll get the tab over, and then we'll film you paying your tab for Dante Jones.
He ain't gonna get it.
We're already
the next reunion, a couple of drinks, we even, man. We even.
All right, got it. Then we start back. We start back over.
We want you guys to come out.
I got my beer glass right here.
There you go.
Cheers, y'all.
All right.
Cheers.
Mine's up there.
We want you guys, when COVID clears up, we're going to define the game that we're going to. And we definitely want Dante Jones, Lemuel Stinson to join us there. Big tailgate. You see all the fans chiming in. They're all going to come out. We're going to have a big meet and greet. We're going to perform music, interviews. The Dante Jones show is going to return. It's going to be a crazy time. We'll have you guys out there with us. Your family now. Your family now here at the Tape Never Lies Network. Any final questions for these guys as we let them go? And I want to shout out your wife before Dante. She's looking out for you. She's keeping you under control. Next time he's gonna go all the way in on Dave Wants to.
I'm at to lock her in the bathroom so I can go all out.
She over there like this. Don't you say that?
Yeah, she said.
Hey, listen.
As like you said, it's too strong. It's too strong. That's let me change that.
He's not too strong when it comes to something that you're so passionate about that someone stops you and lies to you about. So we've had people from Japan. You see right here, greetings from Mexico City, my boy Loki Del Rivero. You had people in Japan, Brazil, Logan Frost. He was checking in from, where's he coming from? Libertyville now. I thought he was coming from the Philippines. He's coming from the Philippines, but he's from Libertyville.
Okay.
We got people in DC, Washington, D.C., Connecticut. Adam Rank, Schaumburg representing, born and raised there. Now he's in Cali. You got fans all over the world checking in, bringing two classic football players. Look at them. Colorado Rockies, Connecticut, another Connecticut. Got Connecticut Bear fans out here, boys. I'm serious. Can't thank you enough, Dante Jones. Can we have you back?
Anytime.
That's what I'm talking about.
Just
The swag will be sent out.
And I wear the shirt.
You wear the shirt. I need a picture of you. I'm going to put together this real amazing piece as we get further along in the off season, because obviously
maybe we'll have
the draft.
Maybe we'll have to do a watch party with the OU Texas Tech game.
Oh, that would be a great. We'll go live.
That's not a real game, man. It's not a game.
That's gonna be a rough day for him. That's gonna be a rough day for Oklahoma.
That's a scrimmage. It's a game. That's how y'all want a game, man.
Hey, I'm going down there and talk to Texas Tech and talk to them. That's what we'll be all right. We're gonna beat OU.
There you go. And you're both penned in with Penn into the Tape Never Lies Fantasy Football League.
Yeah.
This next season, we have this big setup for it. So we're going to put you both in it. Steve Edwards, former Chicago Bear, he's going to be in. We got a surprise Chicago Bear that's going to be in it. We'll release that. So fans, if you're wanting to be in that, go to www.thetapeneverlies.com, become a patron, and you'll be part of the Fantasy Football League with Dante Jones, Lemuel Stinson, and Steve Edwards, and some other surprises, as well as swag and all of the other great stuff we have going on the patron side. Shayne, we've said it all. We've done it all with these two. I can't thank you enough. Lemuel, you were the surprise. You were the cherry on top. Look, there he is, rocking that swag. Look at him. He's not afraid. You got look at The Bachelor. This guy was on The Bachelorette. Big fan. Mikey Tenorelli. You got Ryan Cox wearing some Keepin It 100. My boy Noel Padilla. Look at him. TTing out. That looks sharp. It looks Clemson. Like, doesn't that look like Clemson?
It does.
Anyway, great job. Thank you guys so much for jumping on with us. What a great show. Honestly, I can't thank you enough. We'll definitely have you back. And the swag for you, Dante, will be out there this week. Thank you guys, man. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Anytime.
Unbelievable.
Y'all take it easy now.
God bless you, Lemuel, both of you. All we have is our health in this day and age. So God bless.
Thanks,
These
guys.
two. Unbelievable. Dante Jones, Claudio.
Love the energy, man. That's great.
Two on at once, man. It's
Lemuel texts me. He's like, send me that link. I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna surprise his ass and get after him. I go, oh, that's why I was fumbling with my phone. I'm like, I gotta get him in there. Lemuel, I just love that guy. I mean, and Dante's energy just fits perfectly in. If you're a hater, like you don't get what you just got. If you're a millennial, you don't understand the big pads and the stories. And it just like this, like John is saying, it never disappoints. We don't have a script. So just to go on the show and just have that, the Wanstead stuff, you can't even, it writes itself. Just keeping it 100.
Well, it's so sad though, too, Phil, because
it really
it's
is
a lot of what we're dealing with now, with the bullshit and we're built on truth no matter what, even if it's uncomfortable to talk about. And this is your favorite football team. We invest so much time and effort and blood, sweat, and tears and finances into this team.
How many 4 hours? How much you put in 4 hours?
Yeah. But then you look back to what these guys were dealing with, and it's exactly what we're seeing today. So what does that tell you? You look right up at the top, and if that shit was flying back then and it's still flying in 2021, and then you wonder why you're a mediocre at best franchise.
Big plays are nice.
Exactly. So there you go. That's what happens. Did you? Is that Bears nerd?
Oh my God. They just don't ever grow up, Cars. They don't ever grow up.
In typical fashion, you don't even have to say a word now. They just be like, we'll preemptively do this. Premature enunciation or whatever we want to call that might be a problem for this crew.
What's up?
How you doing?
Did you watch that interview there? Were you watching?
I watched parts of it, but no, I've been fighting with a 4-year-old to go to bed. It's always a good time around this time of night.
Give him some Robitussin and send him to bed.
NyQuil dart right to the neck.
Her imagination was keeping her awake this evening. She couldn't close her eyes because of her imagination. So it's always something.
Yeah, well, we had Dante Jones on. Lemuel Stinson came on to chop it up with us, Cars, and unfortunately they kind of took us behind the curtain and let us know how much things are still the same today. They were back then going up and you're going to be on the team. And then you're at home watching TV, and Dante finds out that he's been released. So he calls his agent, and they call the Bears, and they're like, "No, we didn't release him." And then he's like, "Oh, okay." 24 hours later, they release him officially. Dave Wanstead walks up to Dante Jones and said, "Yeah, we're gonna move on, but if you still want to come to the facility and work out and all that stuff, you're good to go." He comes up there the first day, and how long was he there, Phil? What do you say, 30 minutes?
And they kicked him out?
Told him you got to get out. And
yeah. What did you say about collaboration?
I don't think Dante Jones is sending Wanstead a Christmas card.
No. But I said that's how it's again, points right up to the very top, and that this has been going on for decades. And
it wasn't just a Michael thing, right? Like we always thought a lot of this was a Michael thing. There's a common thread. Absolutely.
I think it's the first time we've used this, right?
I like it.
Phil's on mute. I love it.
This is the greatest moment.
Sorry.
Hey.
I was just going to give you a compliment. Now I'm thinking that.
I wouldn't.
I dropped this perfectly, by the way. I'm going to give myself credit. Isn't that?
Yeah. Shayne,
I got to tell you this, Cars. You have a fan in Connecticut. It's a
I do.
Yes, and it's a surprise fan. I honestly was talking about Cars and how amazing I thought you were when I was watching and putting together the Open with your laughter. And I'm saying Cars is killing me because he's falling out of his chair while Angelo was talking and shit. And then my wife says to me, I love Cars. I love what he brings to the show. And I think
Stephanie
he's
thing.
funny. Steph Atoshin telling me that she's a big Cars fan. So there you go. You got another fan.
Well, it's got to be the name, right? There's power in the Stephanies for sure.
It's super bad in Chicago. We should have showed Dante.
No, it's not, Sheree.
Is there an update on the
Not
Twitter?
that I know. No, I think I'm still in Twitter jail.
God.
But no, you had my Twitter up there with those overlays.
Did I?
Yeah. No, it's fine.
We'll take it down.
Big plays are nice. They're good.
Yes, they are, Coach. They are good. They're nice. So, obviously, guys, I'm not hyping it up. The interview with Dante Jones and Lemuel Stinson, it was a classic. I don't think it was a fun interview, and I don't think I'll ever forget it. And Dante Jones, I just never heard him speak.
No, I hadn't either.
I didn't know about the radio show he had, the Dante Jones show.
Yeah, I was trying to look up online to see if I could find like a clip from it or a picture or something, but
too bad Claudio didn't fucking think of that.
Yeah,
it's too busy. He's too busy.
He's got too many things going on.
Can we add Claudio to this picture?
He's too busy deleting things from Facebook.
He's deleting?
Yeah, Claude is.
Claude, I apologize. You're deleting from Facebook. You're helping out. You're doing a great job.
Gangsters,
what's up, gangsters? What a night. Now we got to get into the tape lying. This is the only time it lies is when they go in front of the camera and they got to talk draft and they got to talk about this. But the reality is, to Shayne's point, which he's going to make, they're not going to give you everything you want. The only issue I'll get off the table for me is don't placate and be condescending about Mitch. Just
get back on the table. We can't see you.
He's not a fucking fan. He's not on the roster. Like Nick Foles, I get, guys.
Yeah. Right.
Before we go, Nick's on the roster, but
Right.
Mitch isn't. So why are you're not getting an advantage of any sort? You just say your truth about Mitch.
It's poker.
Mitch was the
It's
guy.
poker. Nobody's saying, listen, if you're coming out and providing a
they're done with
blueprint,
Mitch.
yeah, if you're coming out and providing a blueprint right now, you're not doing your job.
But I
You know, it's
get
like-
that. But the Mitch thing is not a part of the blueprint, Shayne. So I don't.
The irony though is if they get left holding the bag, right? Let's say worst case scenario, none of these guys come over and the draft is like there is a scenario as far out there as it is.
I agree
that they knock on the door.
He will come back, Mitch.
I don't know how many options. The thing that's going to come back, I don't think he would, but I don't know how many options he's got to have. There aren't a lot of guys, like Gruden has his one person, so maybe Gruden will do it since he's kind of in the Mariota mold. But like he doesn't have the big following of guys that would want him, so he easily could be sitting there.
I think what Cars is really alluding to, Phil, if the Bears swing and miss in an epic way, because we don't know how the draft is going to go. We don't know if they're going to be able to consummate a Wilson or Watson deal, and who knows how this goes. I agree with Cars. There's a scenario where they're going to go to Mitch, and quite honestly, Chicago, in terms of playing potential, is going to be his number one option.
Oh yeah,
by a country mile. The way that I'm looking at it,
there's no Patriots.
What did you say about collaboration?
I didn't say anything about it, Coach.
Yeah, I think they're going to go back to Cam. I mean, and part of the reason being, name a receiver on that team this past year. Name all the offensive linemen, right? Now that all their guys are coming back
in New England.
Yeah. So I think they're going to give Cam another shot on a try it basis.
I don't
Absolutely.
think Cam's going back to New England. I'll be shocked. Just like I'd be shocked if Mitch comes back to Chicago.
I would be shocked there, but
it's like a marriage.
No, we're not promoting it. Right. I'm just saying I think
there's
there is
zero
a scenario.
Zero. Like
no, I think there's
someone come check on me if it happens type scenario.
They made it clear that Mitch is not coming back.
I can never. I honestly,
there's less than a 1% chance.
Sure,
but it's totally the Dumb and Dumber right now. So you're saying there's a chance, right?
Yeah.
Like that's completely where it's
there
at.
There is a path where
zero
you
chance
it happening. I don't think it's likely, but
what would you do if he comes back? Honestly,
I would be disappointed because I would
laugh hysterically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a more fitting way for the Pace Nagy thing to end than to try to go to Mitch to be the savior, not change anything, and then fail all over again?
To your
it's
point,
lighting your car on fire before you jump it off the fucking canyon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to make
have
sure
the same ending. You just want to burn yourself to death before
I
you.
couldn't jump off that hill. I couldn't jump off that roof.
But they would get to collaborate as they drove off the hill. That's the important thing. They would collaborate the whole way down.
What did you say about collaboration?
Oh, Jesus.
When I heard Ryan Pace say that, and you could see him instantly go, I know we use that word a lot around here, because you knew he said to himself before the fucking presser, I'm not going to say collaboration. You could just tell. You could tell because he instantly.
True story. I'm jogging on the treadmill. It's outside the studio here, and I'm watching the Nagy presser, right? And Shayne and Ryan Cox are texting back and forth about the press or whatever. And I'm watching it, and that happens. And, for me, I don't know how everybody else runs, but on a treadmill, if I stop, it's freaking like trying to restart an engine.
What did you say about collab?
Real quick.
What did you say about collaboration?
Exactly, Coach. I was saying, unfortunately, until Shayne busted my balls. See, we all get our balls busted here, guys. It's not hurting my feelings.
We do a beautiful job.
Listen, beautiful. It's pure bliss the way you did that right there. But the reality is I can't get going again. I was so in shock when he said, What did you say about – I go, pull that clip. That's going to be the drop on the show all offseason. What did you say? Like he got offended that someone was talking shit about collaboration. That's how I see it. It works perfectly on this show. It is, as Alex Acevedo and our guy, Angelo, Joe Marino would say, pure bliss.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So let's watch this press.
Ready to see this shit show? Let's go.
I didn't even watch it the first time. So I wasn't going to waste my time watching them jerk each other off with collaboration and teamwork and fired up. So let's get it done.
Great get off.
From the start here.
Go ahead. Is that Claudio?
Year as we're approaching free agency and
no, you got to turn it way up.
Sensitivity.
There you go.
Obviously, it's a time period where every team's got to make a lot of decisions, a lot of important decisions. Your own UFAs, evaluating the free agent market, the trade market, prepping for the draft. That's just the moment we're in right now. Our coaching staff's been finalized. That was really the first step in our offseason process. We're excited about a lot of the additions and some of the changes we made on the coaching end. But now it's onto the roster. So that's the window we're in. And with that, I'll be happy to take
nice haircut, though.
Yeah, he's got Lawrence Funk, friend of the show, did a great job with that.
Hi, Ryan. Do you have a plan you feel is going to get you a start?
Do you have a plan?
Nope.
That would have been the greatest moment in sports history. Do you have a plan? Nope.
Quarterback situation, and
if he was
honestly,
sarcastic with Brad, that would have been
that
dope.
includes free agency.
No, Brad, we don't have a fucking plan.
Draft and a combination of
Hub had the most cringeworthy
we have a
question
plan in place, and
ever
now it's about
when he was talking about Watson and Wilson.
Pat
Who did?
Hub Arkish.
Oh yeah.
Hey Ryan, how are you?
Hey Pat.
Hey, have you made a determination whether Mitch Trubisky will return next year, or whether you're interested in a return from him?
Yeah, again, that's going to be part of our offseason plan, and we're not going to lay all that out right now, Pat. It's just those are all internal discussions we've had, but I would say
what's the
everything's
point
on the
of
table
this
with all the
presser?
quarterbacks.
Yeah, all quarterbacks are on the
Ryan, you talked in January about being connected on a vision with Matt in regards to going after this quarterback position. I'm curious what all goes into that as you guys put your heads together and try to, converse through the traits you want to prioritize.
I wish he was smoking like a whiskey in his hand during this. Like, fuck if I know. We're trying to figure this shit out right now.
It's not just Matt and I. It's our coaches.
I got
and
no
our scouts
idea.
Together, and
You said Tyler. It's Tyler Bray season.
But especially it's a daily conversation.
Why do you think we've kept him along so far?
Not just talking, but watching film together, discussing different traits, discussing different players and different avenues to acquire those players and different combinations. So I think we're ready to kind of pivot a number of ways. I think that's going to be important this offseason, especially with that position.
Ready to pivot.
Obviously, there's a couple high-profile trades already at the quarterback position. There's rumblings. I know you can't speak about other players who are under contract elsewhere, but when you hear the rumblings about potential star quarterbacks that could become available, how do you respond to that in knowing that this is your number one priority?
Yeah, I think, and it could be, you're right on a position of need, you could say, but it could be any scenario where there's a potential trade. We're going to explore every one of those, Dan. We'll be thorough with that. So it's just us doing our due diligence on all different things and
due diligence
avenue to improve our team and improve our roster.
Just pause it, Claude.
No different with that.
Yeah, especially in his thinking moment. Answering Alex Sims, Hakeem is a dominant defensive lineman. I was listening to Waddle and Sylvie, and I don't agree at all with what Waddles was speaking in regards to Jeff Darlington, where he was assessing the value of Roquan Smith versus the 20th pick. It doesn't even make sense. No. Roquan Smith is a known commodity in the NFL and a damn fucking amazing football player. To think the 20th pick in the NFL draft that kind of poker role is worth more than Roquan Smith is complete utter meatball. I'm sorry.
That's
the worst take I heard, and I'm surprised that Tom Waddle said it. I had to listen twice. I'm like, what are you speaking? Like, Roquan Smith
some weird hot takes. As
holy shit! That
Roquan,
I did not expect that though from Waddle. Like that, I just had to keep it 100. I wanted to pull the audio or have a producer do it, but Claude's been busy deleting stuff on Facebook. But reality is Waddle saying that. But back to Jeff Darlington on this. Darlington went on ESPN's Take or something, and he talked about the Chicago Bears being desperate. Everything Cars and Shayne, and I said, 2 months ago?
Oh, yeah.
And I told you the story that Shayne put me in the corner and was like, Phil, think about this. They have no other option but to clear their name by being desperate. They're going to go all in on somebody. Well Darlington says it.
Yeah, you're seeing more and more of that, Phil, because I just think, like I said, not everybody is invested in Chicago like we are. But just to go back to that Darlington clip, it's 100% true what he said.
Yes.
Listen,
we have that clip.
We talked a little bit today when you're talking about the the Bears in the 20th pick and people saying that it doesn't have value. Well, you look at Miami, and yes, they can offer you more ammo, and they have the picks this year, or somebody like the Jets. You just things in the NFL change so fucking fast. It's maybe Miami's picks next year is 25. You know what I mean? You just you don't know when you're dealing. When you
don't know where it's going to be next year.
Phil, you saw that.
Look
clip
what happened
today.
with Oakland, right?
Yeah,
Oakland
exactly.
traded us back, expecting us to get a higher draft pick,
They
and
thought
that
they were going to get
failed.
the top 5,
Yep.
right, cards? They really did. Then the Bears go out and win the North because you get an elite talent.
Yeah.
That's why trading first-round picks, to me, to get a Watson, yes, it's egg on your face. But I wanted to make that point before.
Yeah, but who gives a shit?
At least you're course corrected. At least you've course corrected, admitted your mistake.
You know why we're going to be upset with the giving up first rounders? Because we're into the draft, and you love the excitement of draft day, and then you miss out on that. But the thing about it is, you're getting a sure bet.
Yeah,
exactly.
Look at last year's draft. Like, look at the first round. Look at the last
Exactly.
3 years. There was, listen, we give PFF a lot of crap, but one of their guys had a fantastic tweet. It was like, you could watch the film and be wrong 75% of the time. You could watch the stats and be wrong 75% of the time. But if you watch the you look at the stats and watch the tape, you're still going to be wrong 75% of the time when it comes to the draft.
It's true.
Maybe 10 of those guys in the first round made a significant impact. For every Justin Jefferson, there's a bunch of guys that didn't do anything, right? So, yeah, you're giving up the potential, but it's like you just
it's a crapshoot. It's always been that.
It's art, not science.
Busts. You have to. That's why billions of dollars are spent. I talk about this all the time with us. That's why I'm proud of what we do here, and our history was deleted. I'll just keep it at 100. But the reality of those shows and the analysis that we put out there, and I say we, it's Cars, Shayne, and myself, talking about these prospects and where they were drafted, right on the money. Add Berlissimo now to that. He's been on the money with a lot of these things, and we don't get the benefit of sitting down with the football player and knowing the person. That's where this clown, this guy here, he does. He controls the cards. Hey, I want to talk with Zach Wilson. I want to know who is he.
And I have a Toyota Camry.
What does he drive? Right?
It's very rare that you get a second shot to be a general manager. I mean, it happens.
God.
It's just
after missing.
It's rare. That's what you're.
That's what I was just going to ask. You think because he missed on taking Watson, he wants to get him now more?
Yeah, well, Claudio, you have to. It's like doing something stupid, and you know your wife is going to be pissed about it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just, we've all been there. We've all doubled down and say, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. But deep down inside, you're like, fucking A, I should have just taken the fucking bullet. This would have been over with. And now you're 2 weeks into it, and she's still pissed off at you and all this stuff. The worst thing that the Chicago Bears can do is to not go after Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson.
Our fans are so smart. You're smart, obviously the smart. I totally agree. You have to.
Yeah.
So here's some audio I could play, I believe. Can I put it?
If I may. Sure. Report from my main man, Dan Cilio, who, to his credit, has been on fire with his NFL coverage this offseason. Yeah. Made himself a very well-connected dude. Doesn't get a lot of the national props because he doesn't have a big platform yet, but I know he's building it. What if I tell you this? Tell me. Chicago Bears, according to Danny, making a Herschel Walker-type offer to the Houston Texans for Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
Well, just putting it out. Hold on a second.
So there you go. Everybody's now, like Shayne's saying, catching up with that. And the reality is there's smoke because they have to they have to fix this. We've said it before. It's got to be done.
And it's more important to what you guys were saying. He's not getting another shot. His record, what has happened, his drafting history, right? Like all of those things. For every Eddie Jackson, there is a Kevin White, right? And regardless of injuries and all those things, right? Like you can't miss on 3 guys in the top 10. You can't drift Mitch over 2 guys who are statistically having the best careers at the quarterback position in NFL history when you look at QBR and things like that, right? Like you can't do that and keep your job or get another job somewhere else.
Yeah, Pace is intently listening to you right now.
Yeah, I agree.
All in.
What is?
Well, he gets lost in my eyes, is what it is. It's really a problem.
What did you say about collaboration?
Want to play this more here?
Yeah, we could play a little more.
All right, let's go. Let's see what else he's got to say here.
Dash.
Here's Hub.
Oh,
Hey, Ryan, 2 questions. Has Eddie Goldman given you any indication or confirmation that he will play in 2021? And also, considering the tight salary cap situation that you're in, what is your confidence level in, as honestly as you can be, that both Kyle Fuller and Akeem Hicks will be on the roster in 2021?
Yeah, good question, Mark. With Eddie, we've communicated with Eddie on a regular basis. We did that during the season as well, and obviously we really missed him this year. Excited to get him back in the mix. Coach Rumpf, our new defensive line coach, has communicated with him as well. So that's all been part of it, and obviously he's a big piece of what we're doing. So we're excited about that. What was your second question, Mark?
Considering the salary cap situation, what's your most honest assessment of your confidence level that both Fuller and Hicks will be on the roster next year?
Yeah, without getting into specific players, I think this is going to be a year, Mark. You guys know it's going to be about adjusting, and we're not the only team in the league dealing with these circumstances. And
you extend Fuller, and you extend Akeem. There you go. You keep those 2 guys unless you're trading them.
For us to create room with our cap, not just releasing players. That's
fucking
a hard part of the business.
Why are you signing JP Holtz for God's sake?
Yesterday.
Well, it's Phil. Even on that, I mean, I'm no Holtz fan. They're exclusive rights free agents. That means nothing. They can't even. These guys can't even
taking valuable snaps.
No, I'm just saying
they're concerned. That guy shouldn't be on an NFL fucking roster.
They're not taking. They're not taking snaps now. That's. It's not even. It's not a guaranteed deal.
Just shows you they can't analyze talent. And I pause it for a second, Claude.
But they can, Phil. They can cut any of those guys tomorrow.
I hope they do, but
no, they can. They're not guaranteed. They're an exclusive right free agent. They don't even have the ability to go out and negotiate with any other team but the Chicago Bears. You just bring those guys back as bodies. It means nothing. They know you're.
JP Holtz has done 0 on tape to say he should be back.
But I don't know. You saw those missed blocks in the fullback position. You can't find bodies just anywhere to swing and miss.
Oh, that, okay, you could sell me on they can cut him, but this guy has started for the Chicago Bears, and it's how? It's the same thing with Leno. It's the same thing. What are you watching? Like, it doesn't take that rocket scientist. And just to clear up one other thing, I saw someone in the chat. Watson's not coming here. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he has been informed. Mike Vick has told him to go to Chicago. That's his idol.
You can't say that there's the same person was saying that there was no way that the Bears were going to get Khalil Mack.
Exactly. Stop saying that.
Listen, Adam Hogue talked about all these scenarios on their latest podcast, and he specifically talked about Akeem Hicks, specifically talked about Kyle Fuller, and I think he's right, Phil. If they get into the Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson game, I think those guys they're gone.
Really?
Yes.
Phil,
you clear $24 million by moving it. And listen, I'm not saying that they can't play. Big fan of both players. But I'm saying you get into this game, you have to pay the quarterback.
Before you go on.
They're not going to move on.
Did you see the NFL with Disney, that deal getting done? Did you see the NFL with NBC and CBS? We're talking $4 billion from CBS alone. That's next year. It's due. This cap is going to rise. So you got to play the right players and push that fucking money forward. Don't give away talent and
Phil,
be stupid.
what they're going to do is what we've been talking about. Yes, we know that the the defensive side of the ball has been the focus, and we know that you need
They've
to
been
have
65% of
exactly. You're gonna Phil, if they bring in Russell Wilson already told you, but this is what I'm saying. Russell Wilson has already said back channels that his blueprint is to what Tom Brady did. He wants to come to a team. He wants to bring people with him. So you're going to see a fundamental change there. Same thing with Deshaun Watson. There's going to be you're going to see more resources geared towards the other side of the ball because now it's going
to be the flip.
It's going to be the flip 100%. It's not.
I disagree.
They did it with Cutler.
Yeah.
Look at what they did right away. They went out and got Marshall. They went out and got Martellus Bennett.
I agree with the Russell. Let me say this.
That's what they're going to do 100% because you're not going to get the value out of the guys over 30 anymore. The deals just aren't there.
You extend, and you push that money into the next years. Because he can move back, as we've talked about.
No, I agree with that, Phil. I'm talking about what they're going to do.
Their history is
that.
They're gone.
You got a teenager without a license driving.
We know that though. Like we already know that. If it's the wrong decision, these guys are going to make it.
Be prepared that I'm going to fucking flip out if you're cutting for cap reasons. Pro Bowl talent. Akeem Hicks, he's older, but he's not washed up. This isn't like we're watching my father and I breaking down film against the Saints in the playoffs. He's the most dominant player on defense.
I don't like Logan's got a comment here that Fuller is going nowhere. You can't let your fandom come into play here.
I'm not letting fans.
No, I'm not saying, but to say that just to say that it's cut and dry and it's based on nothingness.
But you guys are basing it on an unknown cap, $180 million this year. You can go to Kyle Fuller and say, we're going to pay you this year to help us out. We want to push that money forward. We know the NFL deal is going down. It's already Disney is fucking overbidding.
They're not going to push. They're going to be picky on who they push forward.
Exactly.
Kyle Fuller, absolutely. Akeem Hicks, look, he's played 20 games in the last 2 seasons, right? He was nicked up a lot.
Fucking brings back JP Holtz and starts Leno every week when the tape's and if you're gonna fucking tell me you're moving on from Akeem Hicks, that's fool stupidity. That's just dumb football.
What have we seen from them? Why would you expect anything less? What has Ryan Pace done since the end of the season?
He saw Khalil Mack. These are the positives I see in Ryan Pace.
But what has he done since the end of the season? That press conference?
He hasn't done shit yet. Yeah, honestly, we don't know.
Ownership, everything. There's no reason to think
that was the worst ever. I totally agree with you, Cars. That was condescending. It was terrible for the fan.
Jackal's saying it right here, Phil. And this is where it's not
talked about. I get it. So you can function and still move.
Yes, you can, Phil. But there's gonna be a fundamental shift in the way that this team is built. They understand that Kyle Fuller is still a viable option at cornerback.
Yeah, but this is where I'm going to ask you.
Yes, okay. I understand because you
could trade Hicks. Okay, you're trading.
What are you trading him for?
To Seattle for Russell Wilson. You're trading.
They're not going
to player.
They're not going to trade. They're not going to want a 32-year-old defensive.
Yes, they will.
He doesn't.
100% disagree.
He doesn't contain any value in a trade like that
with a 1-year deal too.
He doesn't.
Yeah, with 1-year deal.
How many? He's got 1 year left on his contract, right?
And he's going to be 32 years old, and he's been injured.
I totally disagree. How old is JJ Watt? How old is JJ Watt?
He was a free agent.
And
wasn't traded.
He got paid.
Yeah,
he was a free agent,
2 years,
Phil.
$31 million. You're speaking one thing and saying
No, I'm not, Phil. You're not
1 year deal.
You're
to
looking at it as a coach
for a
that
free
doesn't give a
agent.
shit about the business part. You want to say that it
How
doesn't
much
matter and it doesn't exist. JJ, it's just like if Dak, listen, if you could make an attempt to trade for Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson, and if Dak Prescott was a free agent right now, the Bears would be throwing gobs of fucking money at Dak Prescott just because he's free and they don't have to put draft compensation. They would, Phil.
Yeah.
That's the way this
agree.
works.
I don't agree.
It's the way that
you
it
have
works.
to analyze the position, right?
Of course.
What have they analyzed, Bill? What have they analyzed? Nothing.
Okay, but I'm telling you, I'm keeping it 100. Here's the reality. You're giving me two things. You're giving me a player, and you're not giving me the reality of that player. But let me go.
No, we're not, Phil. We're
I'm the
talking about
coach.
if you get.
You're the GM talking business now, right? To me, this is me fighting for my guys. You're not going to fucking tell me the consummate professional cornerback who does the film study, who does nothing but work his ass off for the team, isn't worth it when you know the big fucking money's coming back in 1 year. So this year, we got to talk to you. We want to keep you here 100%. But we know you have that number that Jackal's throwing out there, 20 million, like a quarterback. You're a corner. You're a goddamn top 3 corner in the league. You don't fucking cut that on the street. That's stupidity. I will go to my grave, especially with the fact that you and I know that this guy, once he loses that step, as I said with Adam today, what we've talked about, he can play safety and be a damn fucking good Pro Bowl safety.
Right.
Why get rid of that? Because of money?
Phil,
because of money now?
Phil, you're not listening to what we're saying, though. We're saying part of the reason that they will move on from these guys is because of you're getting back. We're in this scenario.
What do we got?
You're getting Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson in this scenario.
Okay.
And then there's going to be a fundamental change in this defense. In this team, you're going to take from the defense and you're going to take that money and it's going to go over on offense. You're going to see a shift in philosophy in how this team was built. You're going to listen. What I'm saying is, I understand you're going to bite the bullet on defense. It's not going to be the same Chicago Bears defense because why? They can in 2 moves, they can clear $24 million like that without taking a financial hit. They're gaining $24 million.
And remember, next year, after this year, Watson's contract goes
40.
up from 15 to 40 million.
It's going to be 230 million next year.
Right.
Put that in your wallet.
And
That's
you've
what's
been
going to happen because this NFL deal.
And you've already borrowed.
It's already agreed.
You've already borrowed from Kyle Fuller. You've already borrowed from Cody White.
How many years
You've
does
already
Kyle
borrowed
have the deal left?
You've
How many
already
years?
borrowed twice from Khalil Mack, and it's going to be a third time.
We don't even know what the general manager is fucking making or how many years he has on his contract.
It doesn't factor into the cap.
I'm just saying, you go in this situation with Kyle Fuller. How many years does he have?
Right, so Phil, let me ask you this:
how many years?
It's his last year.
Yeah,
So you're 1 year. That's it.
Phil, you're fighting for you're the head coach, and you're coming into my office as the GM, and you're fighting for your guy, and then so you're telling me everything that's great about Kyle Fuller, and I'm going to turn to you, and I'm going to say, all right, coach, totally agree with what you're saying. Now you need to make a decision. I'm either going to give you Deshaun Watson. And we're moving on. We're taking Kyle Fuller's money and we're going to use it elsewhere. Or you're not going to get Deshaun Watson. What's going to be your answer to me? And that's going to be cut and dry. There's no other scenario. That's what I'm telling you. You have your 2 options. You're going to get it.
But like Allen Robinson, right? If you go and re-sign Allen 18 to 20, if you factor in that the next 2 years, you said $230 million is going to be the cap, right? That is $45 million of cap extra next year that we don't have. That covers almost the full blip of what you've just talked about.
And then that's not even count. That's
guys.
not even that's two guys.
That's not Roquan's extension. That's not any of these other guys.
Daniels.
You're putting me in the coach's seat. I'm fighting for my guys. I'm going to them.
But you
based
have-
on this situation that we're in.
Pay everybody, Phil. You cannot pay everybody.
I get it, but I'm telling you, I can save millions cutting the reality of players that suck that you're paying. Leno,
Phil,
Massey,
the whole thing you're missing is we understand that what you're saying, but there's no reason to sit down and believe that Ryan Pace or Matt Nagy are going to make these decisions. Nothing in their past history is going to show them.
We've said things on this show, and all of a sudden they've done it. The Khalil Mack trade, maybe,
but
Roquan Smith. You called Allen Robinson.
You're gonna have to rob from someplace.
Yes.
To get.
I'm going tomorrow, and I'm reaching out to Akeem Hicks. This is our situation. I'm being very fucking transparent. I'm not playing the salary cap off, Mike. That's the fucking dumbest shit. I know there's a salary cap, but I know how to play and manipulate the cap that's been manipulated every year. And this year is the only year it's gone to here. And we don't even know what the number. It could be 185, 192.
Adam Schefter said 181.
When?
From everybody
Today?
like 2 days ago, from everybody that he's talking to, they said it's going to be at least 180, and Adam Schefter said 181.
Guys, there's no script here. We don't fucking agree. We don't agree. We all agree on Mac Jones.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Just because I'm saying this about Kyle, I think he's a fantastic player, but it's not logical that they're gonna say, listen, you
go and extend him. You keep saying just cut him. I'm telling you.
No, I'm telling you what the Bears are going to do, Phil.
That's stupidity.
They need a wide receiver.
Yep.
In the instance, they need two tackle. Look, Phil, you get it, but you're hammering what you would do. These guys don't do this.
The only thing they should do is
they
what
don't
we would do.
The only way
what
that
they would do.
they're going to get money from Jimmy. Listen, they're going to move off of Jimmy Graham if they get Deshaun Watson. They're not going to move off of Jimmy Graham if they get Russell Wilson.
Exactly.
So that's even more money that you're going to have to make up for.
Two things I want to say. Answer one question: Watson or Wilson? I choose Wilson.
I choose Watson.
You choose Watson. Cars. Who do you want?
Watson's legs do scare me, so I would rather have Russell Wilson.
Claudio.
Watson all day.
Watson. So two for Watson.
Well, he could be 10 years franchise.
Okay. This guy could be 10 years too. You see Tom Brady at 43. There's no. He could be
Just
1 year.
Mine's
injured, like Carr said. And
mine's totally based off of age.
Mine is totally based off talent. If I had to choose, let me just say this, and then I'm sorry. Game on the line. Packers are up 7. Bears get the ball. They're driving down the football field. Russell Wilson with the ball in his hand. We've never had that. We've never woken up, like I said to Adam today, on a Sunday morning, knowing that our quarterback could be the difference in every freaking game.
We have. We just know that it was been the negative difference. We've been trotting out Jonathan Quinn and Craig Kretzel.
You're sitting there praying for a quarterback to be okay. We've never had the guy.
Listen, I'm not complaining about getting either one. I think Russell.
I would rather have Russell.
Yeah, I think Russell
Wilson. I love Deshaun Watson.
I think Russell Wilson is going to be the easier get.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Because that franchise isn't fucking stupid as all get out. Look at it for everything the Bears have done wrong this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
The Texans have made it worse. They literally went to their star player and was like, what do you want to do for GM? And then they didn't do it. Exactly. And then they're like, so what do you want to do for coach?
The Jones. And
we didn't do it. And then they turn around and they go to talk to him and he's like, I don't want to play a down for you ever again. And this team is not listening to trade offers whatsoever and is not even picking up the phone.
Right.
And then they go out and alienate J.J. Watt. So for everything that we've done that is absolutely stupid, the Houston Texans is the dumbest and worst run franchise in the NFL right now, and it's not even close. It's not even close.
I agree. Everything you said, I agree. Let me ask you this based on Hector Zambrano, how much savings does Eddie Jackson give you?
None. You can't. He's in the first year of his deal, so it is super heavy. He's dead cap.
Listen, you can't cut Eddie Jackson. You can't. People
trade him.
You can't cut. Yeah, but then
you take that cap.
You're taking that. This is the thing when you have a fuck a cap philosophy. You have to actually understand if all his bonus money as soon as you trade him comes due to Chicago.
Yep,
not to the trading team.
What's the bonus money on him?
A lot.
I don't know his contract. Honestly.
No, so his contract was 22 is guaranteed at signing. He would be to trade away almost 19 million in dead cap this year.
There's another this motherfucker right here. Another showcase of not doing your homework and understanding a fucking personality of a football player that gets paid and decides to fucking lay down like Leno, like Eddie Jackson, talk the talk. And don't fucking play. That's the reality of what we're dealing with here. He's had two former Bears. What do you think of Coach Nagy? They both giggle and laugh and say it's Wannstedt-esque. It's the worst. It gets me so fired up. Lastly, my last thing, then we could go forward, guys, with the cap. You guys are the cap guys. Never hid from that. We're not going to agree on everything. I don't agree. I think you can manipulate and extend.
Phil, but the thing about it is you want to push it down to the future also, which is understandable, and the Bears have done that. The Bears put voidable years when they rework.
Is your face of your franchise right now, right? Or
but he shouldn't. But he should. Yeah, he shouldn't be. Akeem Hicks could be a vocal leader, but this is the thing. So you have Kyle Fuller and you have Akeem Hicks. So that's 24 million there. So let's just say if you go out and you get, let's just say Deshaun Watson, just because his cap number is lower.
Guy,
okay. So now
Herschel Walker type trade.
Right. So you have an extension coming for Bilal Nichols. You have an extension that's going to reset the inside linebacker market for Roquan Smith. You have an extension coming for James Daniels that's going to be probably much higher than anybody is expecting because the kid is so young and where they believe that he's headed. You have to take the fucking money from someplace. You can only push so much down the fucking road. It sucks. It sucks. But Phil, if I'm going to tell you that you're getting Deshaun Watson and you're getting a long-term extension for James Daniels and Roquan Smith, or you're keeping Kyle Fuller and Akeem Hicks, where are you going?
You got to get the quarterback.
That's what I'm saying.
In that, but
you got to rob from someplace. You can't just be
cap is going up. That's the thing. So it's so imperative.
It is. So are the contracts of the young players
James
that you have
Daniel,
to pay.
We don't know. He showed where.
So you're going to let him walk? Are you going to let him? Phil, his contract is coming due.
When?
But those guys are under 30. That's the difference.
Right.
James Daniel's contract is coming up.
This is his last year right now.
No, next year.
No, I thought he has 2 years.
He's a second round pick, and it was his second year this year. So he wouldn't sign.
His third year.
Yeah, so this will be his third year. So he
just played his third year.
Just played his second.
No, he played his second year.
I thought James Daniels was in the Roquan draft.
No, because it was the
he was 18, 19, 20.
He was in the he was in James Daniels and Anthony Miller. And Anthony Miller.
And Roquan Smith.
Right. Yeah, that is third year.
He's due this year. This is his final year. It's a 4-year deal, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah, I'm not going to let Daniels walk.
That's what I'm saying. But you're going to negotiate that deal. You got to get the money from someplace.
I'm giving you an opportunity. Just to be clear, when I see these numbers and cap, it's been manipulated a million times.
It is, but Phil, you're getting a franchise quarterback with a long-term contract. That's the separator.
Okay,
That's the separator.
I get that, but also can extend with the understanding it's going to be $230 million next year. So
but
you
they're
can
not going to
work
spend money if they don't think they can win. That's the thing. And the whole reason that
this
they drafted
this defense is Super Bowl caliber because of Kyle Fuller. I just don't. Akeem Hicks, we can argue. I think he's definitely worth a team trading for him based on his tape.
Yeah,
Does he take some loafing plays in 2020?
Phil, I agree there. But I think that Akeem Hicks when you're talking a massive trade for a quarterback, like he's going to have almost no value. So say if it's Deshaun Watson, he's going to have almost no value to Houston. Almost none.
How could a player
He's more important to
no value?
Because they're gonna cut everything to start all over again and rebuild through the draft.
They're gonna have a blueprint to reset everything. Seattle would be more interested in Akeem Hicks. So listen,
that's what
I don't think there's a chance in hell that you're ever gonna make a Russell Wilson deal and Roquan Smith is gonna be at the fucking center of it. He is the exact type to. Maybe I'm going to be wrong. He is the exact type of player that Seattle has built their defense on. Now, listen, Phil, I talked about this with you today. I could 100% seeing Pete Carroll being the kind of boisterous fucking prick that is going to ship Russell Wilson out. And you know who I think that I can see them going after? They're going to build their defense back up. They're going to get a strong running game, and I could see him saying, you know what? We're going to go out and sign Mitch Trubisky cheap, and we're going to run the fucking football, and we're going to play sound defense and see what happens. I could 100% see that.
The hard part is they don't have the defense anymore.
Yep. No, but I'm saying they're going to build it. You get a piece back like Roquan. You have Bob. I don't know what Bobby Wagner's got left on his deal. Is he under long-term contract?
I think his just kicked in a little.
Let me say this. The Allen Robinson thing. I've been waiting for weeks. I know people wanted to know. I'm all for franchise tagging and trading him. And my guy that I would believe in coming here is Marvin Jones over with the Detroit Lions. Big fan of him on the tape. Fearless football player who makes impactful catches, doesn't cause this stuff. Now, again, I'm listening to Lemuel and Dante stories. So what is going on between what Cards is saying, this clusterfuck of an organization and how they're communicating with Allen Robinson and promises, we're going to do this. We don't know. I don't know that. But I know based on $25 million, he shot that down. There was some Jackamo meatball Bears fan out there saying he heard Allen's asking for $25 million.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm not worried about any. Listen, you can say what you want. Brandon Parker, his agent, and Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
They're pissed for one. It's not about what the Bears are offering. They do not want the franchise tag. Yep. That's what all of this comes down to.
And it's $16 million for him, right?
18. Right?
18.
Yeah, 18 million. They don't want. Allen Robinson knows better than anybody how fucking quick your ACL can snap.
Right.
He's lived it. He's breathed it. The fucking Bears paid him when he was coming off of it. They believed in him. But this is listen. Do you think that Ryan Pace is a fucking asshole if he fucking tags?
No, I don't.
Yeah. No. Guess who was Alshon Jeffrey's agent when Ryan Pace tagged him? Eugene Parker. Brandon Parker is Eugene's son.
Yeah.
And that's
the Parkers are known in the NFL for causing these rifts.
Sure. And you saw what he said. After the press conference yesterday, Brandon Parker sent out a tweet that said, "I plead the fifth." Well, that's what you should be pleading.
Yeah.
You're looking for sympathy on fucking social media from fans that are you want to turn the tide against the organization, and the organization should be held accountable. But listen, if you don't want the fucking franchise tag, then these players all need to get together and to fucking vote against the CBA, vote it out of the CBA, hold out and do your thing. You guys,
what did you say about collaboration?
But that's the problem. They're good. They have to. It sucks. I get it. They have to get the money from someplace. And listen, they have to. The fundamental dude. You're this fucking
got 'em off
franchise. This franchise is the Titanic. You know what I mean? They're trying.
Yeah.
They're trying to fucking turn it.
We're taking on water right now, and they're trying to figure out.
They're trying to head away from the
that spray that you could get for only
Flex Seal.
Flex
Seal.
And don't think for one fucking
TTNL,
minute.
it's the Flex Seal.
Don't think for one fucking minute that the blueprint in Hallis Hall is this. I'm gonna go. We're gonna invest heavy in the trade market for Russell Wilson or for Deshaun Watson. And then this is Ryan Pace's play. After that, I built you the defense through the draft and through free agency with different signings. I've showed you that I can do that. I'm going to fix the quarterback with a proven guy in Watson or Wilson. You need to give me the time to build the defense back up on the other side of the ball. I've showed you that I can do. And don't let Cars was on this from fucking Jump Street. Don't think that if the Bears go 7-9 next year that these motherfuckers are launched.
They're not.
I pray that Carr is as wrong as he was about fucking Carson Wentz coming on a Friday. That's the only thing I pray.
They're not.
But I don't think you're right. I
have to prepare myself for it.
Yeah,
I gotta agree with
Chris Godwin.
I like Corey Davis.
Marvin Jones and Chris Godwin are my two receivers that
I don't think Godwin's got a chance of getting out of Tampa.
I don't either. He was my number one, Shane. You remember?
Yeah.
Number one receiver coming out of that draft. I love that kid. But Marvin Jones, to me, you're getting so much of a solid football player. Allen Robinson, solid. The thing that separates the two of them on film, keeping it 100, Allen Robinson takes fucking plays off when he's not getting the ball. He's not blocking for David Montgomery. And Baralissimo can attest to this too. On at least 50 plays, 50 fucking loafs. And there's no accountability with this fucking coach. So I don't like that. Marvin Jones plays the game, and
they're not using a transition tag on Allen. I mean, you're just inviting yourself to get totally fucked, and then you're going to lose them for nothing.
Yeah, I would franchise him and trade him, honestly, and I would go right to Marvin Jones.
I don't know that he would have that value because, look, I think Allen is a great wide receiver, right?
Right.
Let me take it back. I think he's a very good route runner. I think he's very good at contested catches. But he lacks the number one skill that everybody looks for in a wide receiver, and it's complete dynamic play. He's not a breakaway threat. He's not this guy that's going to just
not
gobble
DeAndre
up
Hopkins.
Yeah, he's not. And you know, it's not like we're going to get a second rounder and a broken down running back for him. But like that difference in value for what his numbers tell you he's worth.
Yeah.
And what he's worth on the field, he gets a lot of those numbers because Anthony Miller is juking it out with any defensive back from New Orleans he can find, right? It's an issue.
Please get out of your brains, and I know this will probably come up in the chat, is, well, let's just trade Allen Robinson for a first rounder. That's not fucking there. It's zero shot.
Third, fourth, maybe. I mean, he would get. What did we give up for Brandon Marshall?
Big plays are nice.
2 seconds or 2/3. 2/3.
And he's not as dynamic as for all
Marshall was
crazy. Was completely dynamic,
was
right?
dynamic.
So you're talking about a fourth round pick, most likely.
I would say a third. You're getting.
The thing about it is, there's what you have to look at. If you let him walk, you're getting back a third as a comp.
Anyway,
pick.
Yep.
So,
well, you're going to be signing a lot of players. You got issues here.
No. But what I'm saying is,
it's a good point.
I think you can look to. I saw the rumor out there someplace on social media, and I can see it being viable. Is if the New York Jets are in the quarterback game, or if they draft Sewell number 2 to pair with Becton to build around Darnold.
That would be fucking awesome.
But then
that would be the best move that they could make.
Why would you not flip a second rounder to Chicago for Allen
I could
Robinson?
see a second given in that scenario. Yeah. He's second or third round value.
He's 27-year-old guy. You get
Great
a veteran
hands.
wide receiver in there with those 2 bookends to give to Darnold. I think that's a viable. I think it's a viable option.
How come our boy Cool Kennedy's AVI isn't popping up?
There was a couple of different people doing that. Yeah,
for some reason.
I saw him on the chat popping up, and then it's not popping up. But I love you.
Go back to this presser here. What do you guys want to do?
I wanted to finish one other point real quick, Claude.
We're
to the drop. God, I know
we
we're
went
late.
off on a tangent
We
here.
went
today.
off, but it was a fight. So we don't real quick. We don't have to spend much more time on the pressers.
Yeah, because I mean we're 3 hours in now.
3 hours in. I want to say this. There's no doubt. For clarity, you can't loaf. You can't be a professional wanting money and not be a teammate.
Yep.
That's got to be in the assessment of this. Is this guy a great football player? Great hands. I saw my boy Necrone. Yes, great hands. Made some amazing catches. But I can get that for less money, and I can get an effort football player who's just as good, in my opinion, as in Marvin Jones. I really believe in that football. Chris Godwin, too. Corey Davis, he hasn't shown me enough. I don't think
he's got those big flashes, but there's not a lot of consistency.
I totally agree with you, Carr.
Well, and don't forget,
Allen has that consistency.
Listen, there's going to be guys out there that people aren't expecting because of this cap.
They said it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, I agree.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. If we're doing this, how many fucking other teams are going to be going and throwing veterans out there?
But
and then it changes the dynamic of the value of contracts.
But Phil, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly why I think you'll probably, if they're in this game, that's why they very likely may move off of Akeem Hicks and Kyle Fuller to get back the $24 million in space, and they might go out and sign a veteran corner to a 1-year deal for $6 million.
You got to remember, though, that this is the year that the vets get screwed.
Yeah.
Right? Because of the cap declines. Now teams, what we've seen, it is collusion that happens in the NFL. You get $3 million instead of the 10 that you deserve, and you got to suck it up for this year.
Yep. Kenny Galladay is a guy, but
I like that football player too.
I do too, but I can
Marvin Jones on tape. Yep. He's a big play weapon.
Yes.
But Marvin Jones does everything. And when I say the ball, he's running through the seam and the safety's coming. He's fucking going after the football. I'll put up the tape to show you. That kid.
Listen, everybody is.
Jets are taking calls.
And I'm not making fun of James for putting that up there because I saw the presser. I saw the presser today when they said that. These guys in the NFL are taking calls on fucking everybody. It's
misinformation season. Even if they're going to draft,
I totally agree with right there. I'm sorry.
Even if they're going to draft the kid from Oregon, right, and play a tackle and build up their lines, they're going to do this to see if 100%. Maybe Miami will do what the Bears did, right, and give up a bunch of picks to move up one spot to secure the guy, and then you get your tackle at 3 in these picks. This is total misinformation season. Everybody up top is going to sit down and try to fool you into thinking we're looking this way, we're looking this way. It didn't work out, right? Bears did this with the draft at quarterback, thinking that they weren't going to go draft one, and then there it is. There a lot of decisions are going to get made to try to fool everybody and think that they're playing 3-dimensional chess.
I want to say one other thing about the defense and Kyle Fuller and Akeem Hicks to you guys. I'm asking the question. You guys in the chat, you can respond too. in your scenario, if what you're saying is going to happen, like you guys believe it, 90% chance, what are you putting a percentage on? That's not the question.
No, I think if they're making the move for Wilson or Watson, I think you're going to see them trim from the defense.
One of the two is
100%.
gone.
Yeah.
I think like Hicks is gone and they'll extend Fuller because he can play out. I don't think they have the faith in
I would be okay with that for the record, especially if you're getting that quarterback. I want you to keep that corner, but my question to that is that fair to you hired this young defensive coordinator, giving him the job, and now you're cutting bait on talent and
welcome to the NFL.
Yep.
That's my question.
Bill, do you think
that's why this fucking franchise sucks?
But do you think that there's any team in the NFL that says, "Oh God, our new defensive coordinator is going to be upset"?
Yeah, I do.
Because I'm going after a big time quarterback and I gotta cut the fucking 5 technique.
I think if this was Vic and a big name coach, you do that. But when it's a new guy trying to make his foot, and right, he was probably the only guy that was going to take the position because of the uncertainty of the job, right? They're going to stick it to the young guy with a smile on their face. Absolutely.
Wow.
No, it's not like Jackal's got on them talking about Goldman replacing Hicks. It's not that. It's Bilal Nichols.
That's why they drafted Bilal.
Yeah, it's Bilal Nichols replacing Hicks, and then it's you going out and if
Brent Urban played some ball,
Mario Edwards is another fucking guy that is going to come. He ain't signing for $10 million.
What about Roy Robertson Harris? Can you get him back?
I don't know. I think that they must have been told something because his wife already fucking posted. Thanking for their time in Chicago and the goodbye to Chicago. So
you guys saw what happened when Hicks went out against the Raiders.
Yeah,
that wasn't last year. It was the year before. Yeah.
Right.
So you saw the impact he left on the defense, and then this year he plays through injuries, and
you saw the impact that having a non-viable quarterback had, though, right? For the last 101 years. So you could say whatever you want. I'll just trump it with that every fucking time.
I totally agree.
That's where it starts, and that's where it ends.
I'm going for Wilson and Watson. Who's your last resort?
The draft.
The draft.
Yeah, the draft. Yeah. I said to Adam today, Mac Jones and my boy Jacoby Brissett. If that's what that would be my last resort. Get up, get Mac Jones. Jacoby's that veteran. Get Foles the fuck out of here.
I just can't. Phil, I honestly think that when you're desperate, I honestly think that they're ready to just be like, okay, they're offering you this, we'll trump it. They're offering you this, we'll trump it. I think that is literally what we're dealing with here in Chicago to get one of these two guys. I really do.
I really believe the Chicago Bears, with their smoke, there's fire. I believe the Chicago Bears are going out there, and trust me when I say this, they're going to get one of those two guys. I really believe, and I will tip my hat to both these gentlemen. Cars, Bears nerd, not Claudio. Claudio has no fucking clue what's even going on right now.
I actually know what's going on.
Oh, all right, I was making sure. I thought this
I'm
was
waiting to play this. I mean, I don't know if you want
smoke weed every day.
I know I will.
Angelo's
he wants to come back on, guys. I don't
Angelo's he's got to get that hair on the top trimmed. It looks like it's getting a little bit long.
He wanted to keep it long. He told me don't cut it. He's like, dude, just leave
worried
it
about losing his hair.
I don't know what he's doing. He said
Next week we'll have the video footage that Claudio, you cut his hair, the hype man's hair.
He didn't. He had a big plan for his hair. He said, don't cut it. I'm gonna let it grow long. So,
what are some key things that we need to hear, if any, from Ryan Pace now?
What did you say about collaboration?
a little angry there.
That is very telling, that drop, Shayne Marsaw.
Yeah.
Very telling. Big plays.
Big plays are nice.
They are.
Nah.
Do we
Honestly,
need to see any more of this?
I don't think so, Phil. Just for the simple fact is, listen, nothing. There was people on Twitter saying, "Oh my God, they didn't say a fucking thing." Well, that's what these press conferences are. You learn two things. You learn about off-season surgeries. You learn about.
And you can't really give you an advantage. I don't want to get. You can't talk about certain things.
First rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. Yeah.
Like Ryan Pace's face right there is looking at the compensation that he's going to be giving up for quarterback in the trade. That's what it is. But that's where, Phil, that's where all of this starts. It's where all of it. Honestly, nothing else matters. For real, nothing. Charles Leno doesn't matter. Kyle Fuller doesn't matter. Akeem Hicks doesn't matter.
Look 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
San Francisco's defense was insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. They lost a Super Bowl because they needed a quarterback to make a throw, and Jimmy Garoppolo was too busy staring at the porn star he's dating to really be accurate on that throw, right? Like the way the league is set up now, you need a decent defense, but one that forces takeaways. And kind of like the Lovey is a threat to score at any point in time. You don't need to be a top 10 defense, but you need to be an aggressive defense. You have to be able to put points on the board. To do that, you have to have a quarterback. And that's it. The difference between Buffalo last year and this year, Josh Allen takes the leap, right? And they were a much more dangerous team.
Well,
Nothing matters without that position. Nothing.
I totally agree.
What do you guys think about Nagy in the presser actually dropping Alex Smith's name when he was asked?
I looked at it as gamesmanship.
Yep.
Like the quarterbacks that may potentially move via trade. I think Nagy threw that out there, be like, hey, you don't want, all right, you're going to sit on this. Well, I'll just go get this guy because.
Yep.
What do you guys think about it?
I think there's an appreciation for what he has overcome, and thus that connection has to be respected and mentioned.
He can't be the answer.
Oh no, not at all. That's all I think it was, though. That it's like, if anything were to happen to a buddy of yours and you're on the show and he's enemies with somebody on the show, I'd still mention the guy because of what he's overcome.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Phil,
That's what I felt like it was.
You think about where the general manager and the head coach are in their careers with this franchise, and you're going to tell me that Alex Smith and Mac Jones quarterback room is what's going to put it's not. I mean, that's very, very, very far down on the list. Like I said,
they think, but the thing is too, is that Nagy thinks highly of him. I think Nagy looks at him as a future coach.
Sure.
So I think any move around that, right, is to kind of get him into a QB room, probably working with Flip, just to see, what he can do and whether he could step. That's the position. He's a camp body, maybe beats out Foles if they can.
I mean,
but like he
won comeback player of the year, and you saw the coach that they had do a video tribute to him. It was Matt Nagy.
Yep.
That's how close he is with Alex Smith. And I don't think listen, you can bring in Mac Jones, who you can say he's NFL ready, but he'd be a guy that you're going to sit down. But listen, Alex Smith can go out there and his fucking half of his leg can fall off in the first quarter. And then where are you? Then it's the Mac Jones and Tyler Bray show.
Hey, they used to show it bleeding on the sideline, right? Like there's some concern there.
Yeah.
Listen, we've talked a lot tonight. We've got some stuff business-wise we got to get into, and we got some breaking news, Shayne. Breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network. Breaking news.
Hey boys, like my sweatshirt? The tape never lies.
That's right. The tape never lies. Next week, Keeping It 100. We got a special show. We're turning it over and turning it around. We're going to have David Kaplan. Yes, this guy. David Kaplan on the show with just me and Shayne. No cars.
Oh, me and Cars have a night off. Oh my
Hey,
God.
boys.
What do you want to do?
Like my sweatshirt?
Yes, we do, Dave. We love the sweatshirt, wearing and rocking the swag. We are going to be breaking down the quarterbacks, all of the options, just like we're doing tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a totally different Keeping It 100 show than you're used to. There's not going to be any segments. It's not going to be
segments. It's just going to be
literally, we're going to start the show, talk for a couple of minutes. Cap's going to come on, and we're diving in to this quarterback debate. Hey, Phil and I were talking today a little bit. Maybe we'd luck out, and maybe the Bears would pull off a trade next
over
Tuesday or Wednesday, and it would be
Wednesday, and
it'd be perfect. But either way, Cap is locked in. I think he's pretty much on board. He's looking at anything with Russell Wilson as obviously a football decision, but I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. It's not just a Russell Wilson football decision. This is bigger than that. This is his wife. He's big into the social injustice and all of that. And you come to Chicago in a huge media market, and that lets you expand your reach there with that. His wife, her career, Chicago, that's a big part of where this is. And let's be honest, guys, we're Bears fans. We've lived this, breathed this. Either one of these guys, the two W's, come to Chicago, they're a fucking icon.
Yeah,
Icon,
they
right?
win a Super Bowl. They're a god.
Don't ever say they're not coming. We've destroyed those narratives. Chicago has a lot to offer. One thing about Russell Wilson,
get Zach Wilson off the screen.
Nobody is saying is that he is the consummate professional, and he knows this has been said out there that Chicago is a challenge, something that this guy has always stood in the pocket to take on, whether it be his size, whether the naysayers. His whole career, he's had to deal with that. So the reality is, to go to Chicago, Russell is a very fucking smart human being and a great quarterback.
Yep.
To go there and know that you're going to own the city and your wife is in this business and she's going to just own the city and you guys are just going to go there and you have confidence in yourself like that, that's what makes him so great. So don't tell me it ain't happening. I know that the Bears know it, and Russell wants Chicago. By the way, assholes, blog boys, he said it to you, Jeff Dickerson. He said it to you, whoever on any ESPN or whatever radio outlet in the nation. Bears, Saints, Raiders, or who was the last one?
Dallas.
Or Dallas. Dallas is going to keep Dak. Cross them out. Maybe Breeze comes back, according to a lot of people. Cross them out. Now it's down to 2.
Well,
I mean, you talk about cap hell. They literally can't kick anything down the road in New Orleans. They're
screwed if he comes back. They're screwed if he comes back.
Yeah, because they reworked it to what, 1 million? Isn't that what they reworked it to? And it's
anyway. We will have Cap on next Wednesday night. Cap the quarterback. I don't know what we're going to cap in the quarterback. Whatever we're going to do, something creative with his name, Steven Johnson.
We're going to call it we might call it the Not Mitch Show. Right?
Oh my God. I hope not. Also, this weekend on our Patreon channel, me and my father keeping it 100 X's with the O's.
Look how straight your arm is there.
Look at that.
Steven Johnson.
Steven Johnson. I shout out you. Me and my dad. Look at this. New graphics for our network, Shayne.
Beautiful.
We're going to be breaking down.
Haircut, Phil. You have the same haircut as Pace.
There you go. Me and Pace. Did Lawrence Funk fly in and cut my hair? Anyway, David Montgomery, Cordero Patterson, Tariq Cohen, Pierce, Arterius, what's his name? Artis Pierce. Thank you, Shayne. And Ryan Nall plays. I'm going to tell Barlissimo, give me one JP Holtz play at fullback so you can get my dad's reaction. And we'll debut my father's embarrassing. We're going to check his reaction to his intro, Shayne.
Yeah.
That Shayne wrote and I'm producing. And so
he's gonna be like
I want to see how he reacts.
Apollo Creed when he was getting introed for his boxing matches, they were so long. That's Coach O's intro. It's gonna be nice and long.
It's gonna be embarrassingly long, so we're gonna see how he reacts. Shayne's very smart with tormenting people, as Claudio, me, and Cars all know.
Never seen that happen a day.
And now he's on my dad with a long intro. I want to see how he reacts. Maybe he'll be flattered. Maybe he'll be embarrassed. He'll just love it. I hope
we have the best dad clip ever.
We're
God, vaulting that one, right, Claude?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll play it. I'll talk to him about it.
I thought for a second that's what you were talking about, but
no.
When you have Cap on, can you ask him a question for me?
Yes, record this, Acevedo. Let me iron up on you. Hold on. Go ahead. Talk to Cap.
Cap, really, just from the bottom of my heart, how annoying is it to have to deal with Greg Braggs calling your show all the time and incessantly trying to BFF you? Like, how much of a headache is that? Thank you. That's my question.
What did you say about collaboration?
Great question.
I can already hear Cap.
I love Greg Braggs.
I love Greg Sunshine. Yeah.
That clip is going and will be played. It's going to be next Wednesday with Cap. This Saturday, me and my father breaking down the X's with the O show for patrons only. Get that banner up, Claudio. Jackal wants your job so bad. He says he'll be all over these things. Just direct him.
Come on, Jackal. It's all yours, buddy.
Yeah, do you see everything you get to put up with? I mean, it's pretty tempting.
He wants the assistant I have a lot of people DMing me, assistant producer. They want to do it, so I'm gonna get back to all of you. Last point: Sunday draft mob.
And breaking news on that.
Breaking news. Do you want to play the clip or do you want to save time?
You don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Breaking news. Shayne.
I will be there.
Oh, you will be there.
I will be there. We had a little
Michael. You're like Michael Jackson in the Jackson 5.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
I tried to leave, but they pulled me back in, Phil.
Claudio.
God, that was horrible. Please don't ever do that again.
The tape
never lies. There you go.
Never
lies. Yeah.
Don't cut him off, Claudio. Jeez.
I will be there. So
this Sunday, Barlissimo draft mob. Also, patrons only banner that Claudio can't figure out. www.thetapeneverlies.com. Come over there, become a patron. It'll take you directly there, right there. Good job, Claude. The bottom of the screen.
I wasn't even looking for it, bro. I was.
Great. Don't admit that you lack the fucking heart and the toughness.
You're giving him his review in front of everybody? I mean, that's pretty impressive.
He's saying, have you seen a movie? Our boy, Jim Larison. We're getting to shout outs. I want to lead off my shout out for Jim Larison, our business producer. What is it? Our business manager right there, Jim Larison, getting all the connections.
Yoko.
At that time. Sunday, keeping it 100. Keeping it 100. Sunday, X's draft mob.
This is going really well.
I was reading your text, Shayne. I'm trying to get the comment down.
This is going really well right now.
Hold on. I'm trying to get the comment down. Can we get the comment down? There we go. Claudio, the dum-dum.
Trying to get your shout out.
Look at your name. Someone
Look at
changed
your
your
name.
name. Jesus, Claudio. How did they let you do that?
Dum-dum. That's not
You
nice.
finally got it.
That's not nice. Let's bring Angelo back on. So
Guess who knew that?
Give a fuck that he smokes weed. They all smoke weed.
Smoke weed every day.
All right, it's that moment in the show. Spencer Strong. Every week at the end of the show, we're wrapping up. We had a great show. Dante Jones, former middle linebacker, the Chicago Bears. Lemuel Stinson, a surprise guest, came on the show and joined that. Just if you haven't watched it, go back, check that out. This show will be immediately up. Shayne, you don't have to upload it.
You got to go back and check out Lemuel when you were asking Dante to choose between two people, and he said both. And Lemuel's like, he's stupid. He just chose both. So
Lemuel is great. They were great. Just a great show. Getting into the debate. We're not mad at each other. This is what we do.
Oh.
We have a debate, guys.
Phil knows he's wrong.
Shayne knows.
We tell
he's
him
wrong.
every day. Every
Right.
day we tell him. Yeah.
Now, I'm not wrong about this, Claudio. You're wrong. You're wrong because our music producer, Cool Kennedy, is ready.
Shout out Tape Never Lies. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. From the fans in the stands to the follows on the gram. Thanks for your support, showing love in the DM. We stay Spencer strong, fight together till the end. Now it's time to shout out worldwide friends and fam. Like
The network that keeps it real, 100 crew. So many in the world that I gotta show love to. For some this policy, the show is at its end. But for me it's so important to thank the charter members and the fans. Built the network, speak the truth through the tape. Never run around the truth, no narratives we create. Set them straight, no bubble screen on 4th and 8. Claudio Shayne getting nervous cause keeping them up too late. That's it, no more to say to get the shot of vital. But hurry up cause the postman's getting homicidal.
shout
Spencer
out.
Strong.
I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too.
The network that keeps it real. Spencer Strong.
Oh, yeah. Claudio doesn't like that ending for some reason.
It just doesn't flow. I mean, it's a great song, but
It is a great song. You saw today, if you haven't been paying attention, Cool Kennedy, our now music director here at TTNL. We got a bunch of stuff that we're going to be doing.
It's about
Getting
time
into.
we had one.
Yeah, we need
Right,
one.
Claude?
That's a shot at me, Claudio, not you now.
I was agreeing. I mean,
Okay, I just want to make, because Claudio's been taking some shots.
Angelo's going to be cutting Claude's hair by the way this is going, right?
He wanted to cut my hair today. He told, here it is. I was looking for the Spencer Strong. Claudio, I'm doing all your jobs tonight, Claudio.
all right.
The Spencer Strong heading right here. See it?
Did he get you the instrumental of that, the shout out music, or no? Remember last
Not
week?
yet. Yeah, we're gonna work on that. That's gonna be coming out this in next week's show. We'll get that. So you could play this beat tonight.
That's a good one.
Obviously, We're gonna start with our boy Cars. At Bears Nerd. Follow him on Twitter. He doesn't have his account suspended.
Yeah, because I'm not a jacket. Oh, sorry.
Hey, I was actually innocent on this one. I didn't even do anything bad.
Oh, sure. This time.
Yeah.
No, I want to thank everybody for the action in the chat. It was a lot of fun to interact with everybody this week. So really appreciate that. Always have to shout out Jeff Burton because otherwise I'm going to lose my fan and then I'm in a notorious spot. But no, everybody, I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me come aboard, and that's about it.
Well, you didn't shout out my wife. I'm a little disappointed after she gave
It felt weird to shout out your wife. It just didn't feel right.
I'm confident in our relationship that you were able to do that.
Yeah, actually, Cars just texted me and said she'll be shouting me out later. So I thought that was rude. I wasn't even
I want to be 100% clear. In no way, shape, or form was that me.
I totally know. You are all class, Cars. I love when you come on here. Me and you, for the record, our guys Russell first.
Yes.
We want Watson too. It's going to be fun.
We heard him, Claude. Russell, we heard him. Deshaun Watson sucks. We want
Oh,
Russell.
yeah. No, never.
We heard him.
Claudio the Barber.
Yes, I have
wearing the swag. I love the hat, man.
It's a great hat. It is. It's a really good hat.
You look sharp.
Thank
it's
you.
the best you've looked all year.
I have to shout out Katie Lowry because she's the graphic designer that came up with this hat.
Wow.
So, what?
It's Shane's idea, but she did it.
She's the one.
She definitely deserves a shout out.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Gotta shout out Mick the dog, who was a Browns fan watching the show tonight.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Browns fan.
He said he's a Browns fan, so
that.
that was pretty cool.
Nobody's perfect, Nick.
John Theory was a Brown at one point.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Michael Kinder from Japan.
Oh yeah.
He's in Japan. Gotta
He's
shout
the
him.
dancer. Remember him from BHL?
Yeah, that was
Mike,
the best
he
dancer
promised
on here.
We gotta have
Until
him
we
dance for
filmed
one of the.
I got some tape of the breakdancing in the front yard, Phil. Should I put that up?
That'll be another week's show. It's unfortunate that we don't have Shayne's sister sending some of his VHS. When Cars' wife could sneak some of his old school.
Oh God, no! I'm so old.
Didn't
they didn't
you,
have VHSs. We had those big reel cameras. It just doesn't.
Super 8.
I heard you were Daddy Warbucks in the play Annie. Is this true? In middle school or high school?
No.
By your face, it looks like it.
No, I have.
Unless you're a great actor.
That was the how the hell did he find out? Look.
No, I'm trying to remember if that's something
Wait,
I
did
actually
I play Daddy Warbucks?
don't do drugs, kids. That's the other lesson right now.
Go ahead, Claudia.
Yeah, no, and then my wife and kids, I gotta shout them out, of course, and that's it. And my mom, I'm bringing her for a second shot to the
when's
hospital.
that? God bless.
Yeah,
God bless your mom. I know Mrs. Fernicola.
Oh yeah, you love her cooking, Phil.
Oh yeah, I haven't had any. Her chicken cutlets
they're
are
the
my
best.
favorite. Yeah,
And the Anjanets.
I don't like Italian cookies. It's just not my thing. Steph always gives me shit. Shayne. I'll go off on a tangent on Italian cookies. I don't know.
We're good. I'm just sitting here waiting for a quarterback. It needs to happen. But no.
I can't deal with the Twitter. And please,
Yeah.
none of you are, everybody on Twitter, none of you are insiders. None of you.
Oh my God.
None of you have inside information.
And when you double down that you're an insider, it makes you look like a even bigger douche.
Like
so many of them do that.
Don't clout chase on Twitter, please. Please. All right, sorry. Go on.
Is there a name to that?
Yeah, there's several right now.
It's a long list.
Could we get your top 10 clout chasers next week?
There's only one. It's Greg Braggs, and then everybody else falls short.
He's taking a beating from people. Oh my God.
Worth it.
Worth it. Oh.
But I'll shout out Hila. She goes actually for her. She's getting the Johnson & Johnson shot, the one shot deal tomorrow.
There's 3 shots, right?
Yeah,
There's
there's 3.
Pfizer.
Yeah, Pfizer and Moderna.
Moderna.
And then,
Pfizer, which is
yeah,
good.
she's got the one shot coming tomorrow.
Oh, she's going early.
Yeah, we got it here locally. Well, semi-locally, because we were
best
gonna.
of luck to her, man. Seriously.
Yeah, because it's we've been talking about it a little bit. With her being pregnant, it's a scary deal. The unknown. But we've talked to a lot of doctors. The one doctor that we deal with, his daughter is actually 7 months pregnant, and she got it, and he talked to us and sat us down and had a nice long talk about it. And it's part of it is dealing with what we dealt with. I know there's a lot of new listeners here, dealing with what we dealt with last year with Hila being sick. I mean, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, it was we were literally within minutes of me planning a funeral, and it just kind of lets you know how quick things can change, and that's why we're gonna go out there, and she's gonna get her shot tomorrow, and hopefully everything goes well and we move forward and have the happy and healthy TTNL baby here coming in June. So
it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
you're gonna be a joy to work with, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh, I can tell. Hey, you think I'm bitching about not getting sleep? If she's anything like my son was, I'm not going to get any fucking sleep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You probably did have COVID back then. I remember that. Holy
man.
Shit.
Tell you
Remember
that. I was, you can go back to the shows on our old network, and if you listen to me.
No, they deleted them all, Shayne.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to them no more.
But, yeah.
Poor Shayne was missing. How many shows did you miss? That was
three or four. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was the most.
I was sitting in a hospital with her for. I mean, I
7%,
wasn't.
7%, Shayne. 7%.
Yeah. Yeah, it's.
I didn't miss one show.
Yeah.
When I got kicked off. I'm sorry.
There was no way that I could not miss that one.
There you go. Well, all the best to Hila. Seriously, Hila.
Oh, yeah.
I know Hila's a big fan of my music, so that makes her number one in my heart. I'm waving to you, Hila. I know you're not Russian anymore. I've learned my geography.
Oh, Jesus.
No, what did you say she was? You said, yeah, it's where Shayne's wife is from. And then where was it? We were just talking about it today.
Oh, the other? I thought it was Czech Republic, right?
No. I told you
the show that I was talking about was from Turkey.
Istanbul. Yeah, Turkey, Istanbul. Phil
I didn't know
got them both mixed up.
What city that was in, what country. So if you're from Turkey, I apologize, but my Netflix show that you should watch is The Gift. It's on Netflix. It's pretty good. It was a lot of twists and turns. It took place in Istanbul, and they used the voiceovers. A lot of shows from Istanbul on Netflix. It's weird. But anyway, let me do my shout out. I had a lot of shout outs, but I'm going to keep it short for my guys. I want to shout out both guests. Dante Jones, former middle linebacker, Chicago Bears. Lemuel Stinson, he's family. He loves the show. He might still be in the chat. Who knows? Or listening to it in the background. Shout you out for both coming on, making this one of the most memorable. And I had such a blast with you both talking Chicago Bears and the history. It's fascinating to me, honestly. Love the game of football. That being said, I want to shout out 2 100 Crew Bear brothers that need your prayers. I shared it today. Brother Antoine Lee has been approved to get a kidney transplant. Now, I didn't know this about Antoine until today. He's kept it very quiet, but he said I can share it. I shared it. He's a bus driver in the heart of Chicago, driving those buses and telling me the stories. He listens to the show. That's how he found us. And we're praying for you, Antoine. I know you're out there. He's been having to do dialysis for 3 years. 3 years he's been doing and waiting. So share this. If you know anybody, know anything, check out my page, follow me. I shared it. Tape Never Lies Network. We're going to keep on chatting. And Antoine's a patron. He loves what we do. I can't thank you enough. And also, as I said, Alberto Valdez, same thing. Dialysis, needs a kidney. Life is too short, man. It's crazy. You know, my son was talking about death tonight after I watched the
That's always
Express.
fun.
The Express. And he dies at 23 years old. Ernie Davis, former Syracuse.
Yep.
And my cousin died of leukemia, so I'm talking to my son about death before bed in the show. Oh my God. But life is hard. A lot of people come here and deal with life, and we are family. And that's why I pray for everybody. Seriously. I can't thank you enough. I want to thank Adam Rank for having me on today, shouting us out here at the network and appreciating what we do here.
And to all the patrons, if you haven't seen the appearance yet, head over to the TTNL Patreon page, and it's Phil's appearance with Adam Rank today is posted there for you all to enjoy.
A lot of fun talking with him from the NFL Network. He's got his own show now and really wants to be a part of what we do here and really loves it. One guy I really want to thank. Where is he?
You're welcome.
You, Shayne. Yes, you guys, obviously. Barlissimo, cutting the tape, producing, a part of the thing. Cool Kennedy, Lawrence Fleming, the voice. Alex Acevedo for the phone calls. Logan Frost, you really were. My standout tonight in the chat, I got to say, was Cherie. Cherie obviously was bringing it all night, just having a great job, and that's not picking favorites. I was watching the chat. Who was, what's his name was back? Ariel Cologne, the hater, the trolls. Ariel, we're gonna have you on the show, Ariel, because I'm not afraid. Will Eastman, you also have been such a champion to the network, and Paulie Coasters. My boy Larry Funkster Jones. He came in second tonight, Shayne. He brought a lot of hype, sharing our show, loving what we do, and I can't thank him enough. One last guy. Where is he? This guy's sending me a bobblehead. Trust me, bro. I'm sending you a T-shirt. Alec Walker. Alec Walker, I promise you, tomorrow I'll take care of that business. I'm sending you a TTNL T-shirt. He's adding to my bobblehead collection with Sid Luckman. It's gonna be. That's the karma cars. I get that bobblehead. Now it's gonna be like the genie out of the bottle. We're gonna get our franchise quarterback finally. Oh, what a show! Love you, Cherie. You were my star tonight. Claudio did a shitty job. It was your worst performance.
You're welcome.
Gotta keep it.
Big plays are nice.
Claudio had no big plays. He didn't pick the star of the chat. He did.
You're the star of the show.
Look his bad.
You're the star of the show.
You look the best.
Claudia, you are the JP Holtz of this situation.
Yes. I got re-signed, so that's good.
Exactly. That's the key thing to take out of
That's all that matters. Right.
Honestly, Claudio, you are the fucking man. You take all the jabs. We love you. We can't thank you.
Man. I had fun doing this.
I'm glad.
It's fucking awesome.
I'm glad you enjoy it. People wonder if we're really fighting and angry, but that's not the truth. Tonight was another one. Everybody, be with us. Sign up. Be a patron. Come on the show Saturday. Next week, David Kaplan capping the quarterbacks with Shayne and Phil. It's going to be a lot of fun. Have a great night. 3 hours and 47 minutes, Shayne. Look at that. God bless.
This has been a Shy City Sports presentation and a Tape Never Lies Network production. Keeping it 100. Thanks for tuning in to the Tape Never Lies Network.